We up in this piece. Let me check my audio levels to make sure I'm all right. We up in here. It's about 20 seconds before it catches up to the world wide webs. Here we are. All right, let me check it. Mic check. Let me check my audio levels to make sure I'm all right. Okay, yeah, sounds all right. So we live, and we back to the AD show, and I got a few stuff. I got a lot of shit I got to catch up on for real. But I got a message from a subscribe star, and where'd it go? Okay, here it is. Hey, yo, I get it. Subscribe Star is so difficult to, like, figure out. Well, it's not difficult. Subscribe Star, in my opinion, is, like, it's really better than Patreon, but at the same time, it's just so foreign. I don't think it's difficult. It's just foreign. So I have no idea who his name is. It just says user and a bunch of gobbledygook. But I want to read this question. It was sent on May 30th, and I'm just, like, fucking backlogged, man. I just moved around. You guys can't see it now, but I got like everything, like, you know, mounted on the walls on the other side of the same room, because he moved the baby bed next to the actual bed. So the baby bed's sitting over there now. And in the other room where I used to do live streams, that TV, we hung that on the wall. And I've been just fucking catching up on shit and doing my own thing dizzle. ADU moved. That looks like a whole new place in the back. It's the same room. I was literally where the baby bed was. That's literally where I was before. It's the same room. It's literally the same room. I wonder how that has gonna look when I open the window. I open the window, but that's just bright. That's all. It's just bright as fuck. You just can't see the plant, but it's just brighter. What's up, Joey? Yo, what's up, Joey? That cream. Oh, it's a suit, man. I just threw something on real quick. But it's a suit. No, what's crazy? Okay, well, never mind. It's a suit. I just threw the jacket on real quick just to, you know, put something on, because I was wearing a t-shirt before. So I just went over there and grabbed the first jacket out the closet and put it on. What's up, Elijah? Yo, I got your message, Elijah. My bad, man. This is just because my dad, he's in Prague. He flew into Prague. We got him at Airbnb, but I was showing him around, and like I said, this was his first time out the U.S. So he was just, honestly, he's doing a good job, but it was just one of them things, man, just a fish out of water. And he just didn't know what to do, where to go, like nothing. And, you know, it's one of the things you can't prepare for unless you just do it. And that's the position he ended up being in. But, so I finally got him all together. And the baby's getting ready to come probably within a week or something like that. Less than a week. It's scheduled for, it's scheduled for Friday. But we're going to see how it's going to play out. Because you never really know when it's going to come. But yeah, man, just chilling. I was just playing Hitman. I took a break. I got Xbox Game Pass. I was playing Hitman. I was playing Ninja Gaiden first, and then I was playing Hitman. I'm probably gonna catch back up on the gaming channel, you know, especially after the baby's here, so because I'm gonna be quieter and just playing a video game type of thing, instead of just, you know, rambling and going on rants for like 3 hours and waking everybody up. I'm probably gonna just do the gaming channel a little more. Reading, AD getting dolled. Yo, I'm dolled up. Yo, I literally just went in the closet, just grabbed the first jacket I just found, just put it on. What's up? Yo, what's up, Ivy Bo? Yo, I got your email. I emailed you back, Ivy. Catch up on the comments, baby. Did you ever try that 70s gangster accent on one of your Czech friends and see if they understood you? I'm going to try to not. Yo, I haven't even got a chance to, man. No, okay. So I've been doing it so much with my girl, so she's got to the point where if I speak in small sentences, she can figure out what I'm saying. But if it's like a sentence any longer than like 5 words, she can't follow it anymore. So so if I don't like this shit, I gotta keep talking, Shane, and keep going to the store to get some cigarettes and coffee and beer, Shane, man, and get some weed and some pipes and blah, blah, and I can't keep going because if I just say this, man, she can figure out, oh, he just said I just say this. But if I go longer than that, she can't follow it. So we just gotta keep. We gotta walk down the street with our fur hats and just be like, man, copper, man, gotta go down to the theater, Shane, man. There's a gas station next to it, man. Get some bubble gum and some Slurpee, Shane, man. Man, copper, man. What do you want, man? And they be lost. My girl, she could follow because I've been doing it around her. But a friend of mine, I've been meaning to try it on him because he's been fucked up, man. He's the one I was gonna interview. He's fucked up. Real good dude, but no, but he ain't here yet. I've been getting shit. I just been getting shit together. He's not here yet. Just moving shit, rearranging shit, getting shit, and then just handling my own life. Outside of YouTube, and fixing that shit. Not fixing it, but just kind of like rectifying it, kind of thing. That type of thing. And then just being just like exhausted because because here's the thing, like with her pregnancy, for real, like the whole entire pregnancy was a breeze. I remember what was it, Haha Davis, like the whole pregnancy was a breeze for real until like about last Friday. That's when that shit started to hit, and like now it's like she's getting on my fucking nerves now. Like it's hit that point. But like all up until for the first 8 months was like perfect. Like it was nothing, other than just slowly getting bigger. Like she had like no moods. There was no noticeable mood swings or anything like that. But even when she has a mood swings, like she'll tell me she has a mood swing type of thing. But in the other sections, like she just can't walk very far, or her feet are just swollen the fuck up type of thing. Now she officially can't she can't bend over to pick anything up because she got the car yesterday and she dropped a water bottle and I had to walk to the other side to pick it up because she just couldn't. Because she tried, she just couldn't pick it up, kind of thing. So it's like all that shit is like fine. But here, like the worst part that's hitting right now. The worst part is that she's snoring, right? And that's what had me wore out last week. So I'm gonna tell y'all the story what had me wore out last week. So when my dad first came here, he didn't have he didn't have anywhere to go. So he stayed in the other room. So it's only 2, bedrooms in here. He stayed in the other room, right? And, me and her, we was over here, but she's starting to snore. Like she snored before, it wasn't bad, but it's like the pregnancy, all that shit started to hit, like I said, in the last week or 2 weeks. So she started to snore like so loud that shit'll wake me the fuck up, right? I try going to sleep high, try going to sleep drunk, anything, it just wakes me the fuck up, right? At like around 2 or 3 a.m. And it's just like awful. But it's like, she's fucking and this is the one rare scenario where I will go relatively sleep on the couch. Like in any other scenario, like I've never slept on the couch. Dude. I don't understand how that even happens in relationships. From a grown man, like the man, a grown man has to go sleep on the couch. I still don't even understand how that happens, like in real life for real. But I hear stories. I have never been that dude. But in this scenario, she's pregnant, and like that shit's starting to hit. Like, okay, I'll be the one to move, right? I'll just do it because she's fucked up. Right, so the reason why I was exhausted all week last week, that was part of it, is because my dad was in the other room and he'll snore, and then my girl was snoring, so I just like took out a bunch of heavy covers and just slept on the kitchen floor type of thing, just to keep everybody, like at least somebody's gonna get some sleep in here, right? So that was really like the big part of why I was exhausted, because I can move through pretty much anything else. But you'll sleep. Well, okay, when you're sleep on top of having to be pretty much a tour guide. So here's the thing too. Here's the other part. The reason why you usually have to pay a tour guide to do it, because it's fucking exhausting to do this shit, right? With motherfuckers who's never been to the country, and it's even worse with motherfuckers who's never been out of their home country to go somewhere. It's even worse. So like that shit's, and then on top of that, it's summer too. It's just like, and then like the path I got, it's just like, it's exhausting. Like to be a fucking tour guide, then he don't speak the language. He don't know what the money is. He don't know where to go. He don't know the tram stops, the train stops. None of that shit. He knows nothing. So I gotta it's not his fault. It's just how the shit played out. So I gotta, I had to keep track of him, where he's going, make sure he's all right. And then on top of that, at night, like she's snoring, all fucking night type of thing. So that's why I was fucked up. But that was a big reason. On top of that, I'm still trying to keep up with my everyday life, type of thing. And then on top of that, moving shit around and and figure out where I'm gonna mount something and move something and take something here and then just rearrange and shit. It was just a pain in the fucking ass, dude. Like last week was just hard. It was hard. I'm still tired now, but I caught up on sleep the last couple of days. So I'm at least, got some energy now. What's got me? AD, my girlfriend is 5 months pregnant. I'm in for the smart thing soon. Word up. I made it to a live stream. What's up, Chaos Day, man? What's good? My information overlord. Chilling, man, chilling. You sleep on the welcoming couch when you can't take it anymore from the hostel bed. Word up, Michael. Word up. Yeah, I can't even argue. All I can say is I don't understand it. I mean, like, I can only speak from my perception of trying to assume what would happen. Because I remember with my ex-wife, like, she would go sleep on the couch. Like, I never slept on the couch. Like, she would get up and go sleep on the couch. But I never did that shit. I can't stand that snoring, but I'm a heavy sleeper, so I just fall asleep first, can't snore. Oh, man, Mario, yo, I'm in between, man. Like, sometimes I can sleep through anything, and other times, like, I think if I'm like low-key in a stressed mood, like, for whatever reason, I think that makes me more sensitive. Like, my anxiety gets worse. So, like, anything will just kind of set me off kind of thing. I'm not like an angry type in that mode. But I think I just get more sensitive when when the anxiety comes up. But, like, when everything's, like, as usual and resolved, like, I'm usually good with it. She usually doesn't snore. She usually is not a snorer. It's just the pregnancy, man. She usually, yeah, like I said, the few times she did snore, I could tell her and her mom got into it earlier that day or something. Because there was usually a reason behind it. Like, she was real stressed or she was real tired. You know what I'm saying? And I could usually figure it out. Like, the next day I could tell, yeah, you were snoring. And we can deduce, yeah, like, she was, like, either tired. But for the majority of the time, she never snored. If she did, just, like, kind of push her a little bit and she'd wake up and roll over and be fine. But, now she's fucking huge. So it's like all that shit, dude, from the pregnancy, it's like all of it's starting to hit. Like, she can't just roll over that easily anymore. Like, it's a fucking... it's a task now. It's an Xbox accomplishment to roll over in the bed type of shit right now, right? Like, it's this whole thing. It's this whole shit. She got to take a break halfway through. She got to take a cigarette break halfway through the rollover. So I'm about, just give me a minute. Okay. And then get halfway through again type shit. She all right, you know what I'm saying? Because I done read in her some other stories. Other motherfuckers be going through it like the whole pregnancy. Like I said, like my dad said, like so when she was here. Okay, when my dad was here, because like I said, I just said fuck it. I'm just gonna get up. I'm just gonna go sleep in the kitchen. I just unrolled a bunch of heavy covers, then just put the covers on the floor. Just brought the regular cover and just slept on that in the kitchen, right? But so she got sleep. My dad my dad his sleep is still fucked up because it's that thing when you travel that far. Like, a lot of people's sleeping patterns is just terribly fucked up, especially if you never left. Like, it's even harder at that point because secretly you're kind of panicking. Like, especially like the first time, it's like, oh my god, is something wrong with me? I'm supposed to be asleep right now. What's going on? I'm not even tired. Am I okay? What's going on? That type of thing. So, but she got up, she cooked eggs in the morning and all that. She's not cooking as intricate dinners as she used to cook. Because she used to cook, we was throwing away more food than she was cooking. Type of shit at the rate that she was cooking. So it's gotten to the point now where she'll cook breakfast. Dinner is, don't hey, I tell you, okay. Her at literally a week before giving birth, the quality of her cooking is still far above and beyond the typical American woman. All right, it is still far above and beyond all that shit. Right, so I still can't complain. Right, but it's like what I'm used to now. It's like, the quality's dropping. Need to pick up the pace. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Not serious. Not a little serious, but I be playing though. But while I'm talking about food, I took my dad to my favorite beef rib place. This little, not even anything, super fancy or anything. It's just a regular outdoor, place, which is the norm for over here. But in America, I think it's kind of like, it's not quite the norm for many places over there. But I remember the funny part, when the Europe thing finally started setting into him, like the differences. I remember I took him to the beef restaurant, right? Where I get beef ribs, and he went beef ribs, so he got the beef ribs, and and it looked, it's this beautiful beef rib. I should have took a picture. I don't know why I didn't take a picture of it. I think I do got a picture of it. Hang on, let me find this picture. There's me taking a dump, but y'all can't see me taking a dump though, and I just wrote model. And I sent it. I sent that to her. Just playing with her, taking his shit. And I just wrote model on the top. And posed like a model. Just. I was taking this shit for real. I was taking this shit. But you can't see it though. Huh? Let me see. I'm trying to find the ribs. Okay, so yeah. So here's the ribs. Is that too up? It's not too bright. No, it's not too bright. You can see that. So this is the place. We got ribs, right? Well, that's because that's him sitting over there. It was kind of cold outside and shit. It was like, it's one of them cold summer Junes and shit, right? So I remember like the funny part, like when it started to set in, like the differences in like quality of food. We was taking the food to go, right? Because we couldn't eat it all, and we was taking the food to go. And he thinking he's like that American food quality shit. He tried to stick the knife into the ribs to pick it up and put it in the to-go box, but the meat was tender, so it didn't stick. It just like slipped right out. And he was like shocked and shit. He was like, I was like, yeah, you was expecting America where it's just like a brick. You just go. You know what I'm saying? Like something off the Flintstones type of shit. That's that quality. That's that American beef quality. That should be something off, look like something that it wasn't. It'd be as rigid as something off the Flintstones. If the Flintstones had some gangster meat, it looked like it was gangster meat. But that shit was rigid as fuck. And that's that American quality beef. He tried to pick that shit up and pick, you know what I'm saying? Like no angle on it to get leverage on it. Like he was trying to stab it and pick it up. But the meat was tender, so it just went in and went out. And wasn't on the fork, on a knife, whatever the fuck he had. And that's when that shit, I think that was what the difference really started to hit him. Uh-oh. AD, female entitlements here in the U.S. has just gotten worse and worse, man. Yeah, I'm gonna give it about 20 more minutes, and about 10. I've been on 20 minutes, and I'm gonna give it about 10 more minutes. And I'm gonna read a couple messages, and I'm gonna go into this Reddit thing, which could be true, could be not, but it's the general course how the shit happens. This Reddit story. Yeah, where we at? Like jerky, yeah. Well, oh my god, dude. Here's the I grew up thinking that I genuinely grew up thinking that I just didn't like beef. And the thing was, until I came. No, check that. The first time I figured out I liked beef was when I was in Argentina, and I told you that story when I went to that that ranch or something like that. Where okay, you go. It's like it was this big ranch where they let peacocks and horses and chickens just run around. The horses didn't run around, but it was peacocks and shit. They just run around, just hang out and shit, right? And you could ride these little small horses. And I remember when we had dinner, they made all they sausage and steaks and shit there. They went out there and killed the cow type of thing, right? And that was the first time, and I remember because it was me, because I remember me and my teacher, we didn't care for each other for real, but that was the only thing we agreed on because we both thought that we didn't like beef. We grew up not liking any steak, very little hamburger, type of thing. Because in America, like our thing, well, at least when I was younger, it was a big thing to just to thoroughly cook that shit until it's dry as a fucking shoe, right? And then you just and snap that shit off, right? Right? Because here's the thing, in America, everybody was afraid of all these diseases and all that shit like that, right? Which you can't really fault them for that. But when I was in Argentina, they brought out some steak, and that was the first time in my life I had ever bitten in a steak, and like, I might ask for a second for another piece. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was a kid, every time I eat any type of beef, unless it was McDonald's, which we all know McDonald's isn't beef. That's just soy, brown food coloring, and maybe a little bit of protein powder, and just make it look like a burger shape beef patty type of thing, right? But so I grew up my whole life just thinking I didn't like beef because like I never liked. Every time somebody would cook it, it was just always just hard. Just you had to bring a fucking chainsaw to cut the shit all cut through it and shit. So when I went down, that was the first time I had beef that was genuinely like tender. And this shit blew my fucking mind. Like I was like, oh my God, like I can actually eat this. I might actually ask for another round. But I thought it was just a one-off. I thought it was just like I was lucky. Oh, I might have just luckily got like that one piece that like, by the grace of fate just happened to be tender type of shit. And I just luckily got it because they can't know what they doing. Because in America, a lot of motherfuckers there didn't know what they was doing, 15, 20 years ago cooking beef. Now I think it's gotten a little bit better. I can't speak on it now because I'm not there. But, oh God, man. Even when I be going back to the U.S. now, when I went back last, every cooking that I had was just awful. I ain't gonna lie. Somebody can get their feelings hurt with that. But every cooking I had was just awful back there. It was terrible. No matter what it was soup, anything. I remember a friend of mine made some soup. I say, yo, I poured that shit back in the pot. It went in the Cliff Bar. That shit was awful. That shit was, whoo. Oh my God, just thinking about that quality again. Because me and my dad got in a conversation, right? About this one girl I was dating. Maybe I was probably about, no, this was right before I went to Argentina. Her name was Sarah. And Sarah was a social worker, right? And here's the thing. I picked up Sarah while I was walking my dog. So here's the story behind Sarah. I picked up Sarah. I was walking my dog in the neighborhood, and she and in where I used to live at Centerville, in that little apartment building, apartment complex, right? And she had just got out the car, and I was walking my dog, and I got a thing for like clumsy bitches. Like I just think that shit's high. She was a clumsy bitch, right? But she was skinny. She was a well-built white girl, right? Her face wasn't all that, but the rest, everything else was all right? And I picked her up while I was walking my dog, Scarlet. It was a little German Shepherd, which we think was mixed with an Akita. I picked her from the pound. And I remember Sarah, and Sarah was a social worker, right? And she worked with teenagers. And the only and I'm be honest with you, the only reason why I used to like fucking Sarah was because I remember when I was like 16, 17 and dreamed of fucking like, older women like her who was like the teacher or secretary or something like that. So I fucked her for them type of thing. Right? But I remember two times actually, we went out to eat. And she got some filet mignon from Cheesecake Factory. I was gonna call it Chesapeake Cheesecake Factory. And don't get me okay. Here's the thing. I don't have any problems with Cheesecake Factory. I mean, I think the main problem is people. I think people think it's better than what it is. But I love the. I still calamari. Cheesecake Factory to this day still has, in my opinion, some of the best calamari. Some of the best fried calamari, even counting over what I've had over here. I think between the Cheesecake Factory and the Spaghetti Warehouse Spaghetti or something like that. It's a toss up between those two. Got the best. But where I'm going with it, she got some filet mignon, and as soon as I seen her cut into that, I was like, that's not filet mignon, because that shit was tough. If it's filet mignon, they fucked that up, all right? Because that shit was tough. And that's what I'm thinking. That was a whole long story in the behind Sarah. She was a social worker. Because I remember she got mad at me once. She was for real mad at me because I remember I was fucking her, and I had and it was YouTube was playing like random shit, and for some reason like Ariana Grande came on, which I'm not even attracted to Ariana Grande, but Ariana Grande came on, and then that's when I busted a nut in her. And she was like, well, you fucked me all the time until Ariana Grande came on. Then you came in me. Like, why you couldn't come to me? Like, hey, that just had that's I can't, because I'm not even. I mean, I'm in certain angles. Ariana Grande is attractive, but overall, she looks like a fucking 12-year-old kid. But if you catch her at the right angle, where she don't look like she's 4'2", she can pass for like an attractive. If you catch her at the right angle, she's like a grown adult. But overall, like she looks like she's about 4'3", 12 years old. I'm usually not attracted to her type of thing. But her video came on, and like all you could see was like these more adult looking angles, and and that's what I came to was Ariana Grande. Akina and German Shepherd, that's a good mix. I bet she was a good. Yeah, she was good. Here's the thing, because I picked her up, Nick. Let me read this this message in a minute. So I'm still I'm still working with being tired, but I'm much better than I was last week. Yeah, Scarlett, that was my dog, man. Scarlett was great. Here's the thing with her though. Since I got her from the pound when she was older, I could tell whoever had her before me kept her indoors all the time and probably never walked her, right? Because you can leave her around anything expensive, anything, and leave her in there all day, and she wouldn't touch it. Wouldn't. If anything, one time I remember I left the controller with a cord out. I came back in, and I swear, dude, she wrapped that shit back up and put it next to the TV. I'm like, what? You cleaned up? But her weakness was when she went outside, because she was potty trained. Never had issues with her. I think she puked one time randomly. It was one time she puked inside. But when it came, like, she never had any any waste disposal issues inside. But her issues came when she went outside. She couldn't control herself. Right? It's like if she seen a squirrel, like, all order was gone, like nothing. And she was a bully. So if it was an animal that was smaller than her, she would just bully it. But if it was an animal that was bigger than her, she'd be afraid of it and be trying to run away type of thing. And she was a bully. So but like I said, I can tell whoever had, but she was great with kids. She was great with humans, but other animals is where she couldn't be around other animals. Like, so I think whoever, my assumption is whoever had, and then when you walked her, it took about, here's the thing. She wasn't a big dog, but she wasn't a small dog. She was like perfectly in the fucking middle, right? But with a dog like that, who doesn't know how to act around squirrels and something she can bully, like she would just take off, right? And with a dog that is that low to the ground already, when she is like convinced that she wants to take off, if you ain't ready, like she will pull you and you be like, I never went like dragging type. I wasn't on the ground type of shit, but it'd be like some shit like, I remember just like looking over here. Next thing I remember, I'm like this, like holding on to the shit. Like, damn, like, and that shit went on for about 2 weeks. And I was like almost getting ready to send her ass back because I couldn't walk her. And then like after that 2 weeks, like she finally started, or either she started calming down or I started being a little more prepared for her. I don't know which one happened first, but she was still kind of, she was good. She was a great dog, man. She really was. Like I said, whoever had her before me just never trained her how to exist amongst other animals, right? Like I said, with little kids come up to her and just start petting her, and she was fine. I was actually kind of afraid one time because one little girl came up and pet her and I ain't see her. I was like, Scarlett she gonna bite her, that type of, because Scarlett, she was, She was funny like that. Like, she never did that shit to me, though. And that's the weird from the beginning. Like, from the beginning, when I first got her, she never did that shit to me. She never snapped at me. Never. Never took her, because she knew how to take her leash off. Because when I would take her and when I had to leave, so I, let my dad, have my dad watch her. Or she'd take her leash, like she would take her leash off. Like what he said she would take her leash off within 5 minutes, but she never took her leash. One time she tried, and I caught her, but like I never had any issues with nothing, none of that. Oh, so let me yeah, I agree. Ariana Grande. Yeah. Like if she wears like if she wears that little schoolgirl outfit, something like that, I think so a schoolgirl outfit at the right angle type of thing, where she don't look like she's fucking 12, like that's hot. But like pretty much anything else, she just looks like she's 12 years old. So let me read the subscribe star message. I'm gonna probably go through one or two of them, maybe three of them, and I'm gonna start the Reddit, because the Reddit video is about 20 minutes long. So with me talking, it's gonna last about 4 hours. But let me read this shit. So it says, there's an adult actress who works with her man, Lupe and Micah. AD, when I say this girl was perfect, so she's physically perfect. Anyway, I think she just got fake boobs recently, and the whole thing is ruined. I think I mentioned this about a couple years ago. Adult actress Jane Kane. Perfect until the boob job ruined it. If you want a topic, maybe talk about why women do this. And why they think they're actually better. Why do they think they're actually better? Do they think men actually want this? Because I think most men don't. Thanks again. Good luck with the upcoming miracle. Yo, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Again, I don't know, because like the name, it just says user, so I have no idea who sent this. But thanks a lot, man. If you watching, thanks a lot for sending the message, man. Then thanks a lot for the support on Subscribe Star. Appreciate it. And that's a slight advertisement for Subscribe Star. Subscribe Star. Do you want to subscribe and watch me talk shit about bitches? This is what I go on Subscribe Star. I don't even know what the starting plan is, because I'm too dumb to figure that shit out. I just set it up. So Subscribe Star. It should be a link in the description below. Anyway, that's my paid advertisement, because I paid for it. All right. Well, yeah. Well, somebody paid for it. Anyway, so let me look up Jane Kane real fast. Let me see who this is, because I have no idea who that is. And I'm not trying to say that like I don't watch porn. No, I watch a lot of porn. This is just one I just never. If I did come across her, I just don't know who she is. Jane Kane. I don't think I know who this is. I don't think I've ever seen this girl. White girl? Okay. A little white girl. Oh, she's little. Okay. So Jane Kane. Okay, Jane Kane. Okay, I got you. And who is this? Lupe and Micah. So let me look that up. It's a black and white girl. It's a black dude and a white girl. I'm trying to find. So I can make sure this is exactly who you're talking about. It looks like it's a black dude and a white girl. She's not a bad looking girl. But okay, my opinion for that is why women get breast implants and that shit. And this is why I go on, a while back, right? My opinion is this. My thoughts are this. Starting from the beginning. Women always have an easier way getting into something, just because, for the sole reason, because somebody wants to fuck them, right? That's it. They always have the easier way. Because woman's body, like, everybody wants a woman's body, right? Everybody wants that shit. Like other women admire, even though they hate to admit it, but they like, or either they like it or they jealous of another woman's body. So women have the easier entrance. When you talk about clubs, whatever the fuck, like they're gonna get half off, no entry fee, whatever, as long as she's hot, anything like that, right? because woman always sells the easiest up front. But here's the thing, in my opinion. Any porn stars you like? Oh man, I had a whole live stream a while back around it. If you remind me later, I'll go on it before I get off here. Porn stars I like. Okay, here's the thing. The reality of women, and here's something that I think the world needs to understand this and see the world outside of these, oh my God, beautiful woman goggles, right? Because women know it, and women, even though they can admire it, they're not hypnotized by it like men are. Okay. Women getting and listen to me on this. Women getting boob jobs, butt jobs, ass jobs, whatever the fuck, it is literally no different than men going out and trying to buy expensive shit because they trying to impress bitches, right? It's literally just as pathetic, just as laughable, it's just as sick, and it's just as sad to do that strictly. Okay, for the guys who do that, for the guys who are going out to buy clothes, a watch, a house, whatever, strictly to go out and try to get women and have that be their lead off kind of thing. It is equally pathetic. But here's the thing. Men can be called out for it, right? Men can be laughed at. Oh, he's driving like a Ford 350 with a suspension, whatever the fuck that is. Oh, he must have a small dick and all. See, men will get called out for it, and everybody always gonna laugh at men for that. But when women do it, it's literally just as sad and as sick and pathetic. It really is. But don't get me wrong. Okay, even though it's sad, sick, and pathetic, like there's still going to be success because again, at the end of the day, that's what the two sides are going after. Women are looking for resources, and men are looking for round, healthy, clean women. Curvy women with relatively speaking, curvy, clean women that just aren't too much of cunts. And then that's the core, like the core exchange it's always going to be prostitution, right? And then there are deeper intricacies after that, but at first glance, it's usually going to be, okay, guys can just muscle their way through with money. You can just muscle your way through at some point with money, whether it's a woman you really want or really don't want, whatever the fuck. A man, you can just muscle your way through it with money, just like a woman can muscle her way through life as being a fuck toy. But and those are those are the two core components. To actually trigger a legitimate relationship out of it, it is going to call for a lot more deeper shit, right? Hey, do you have the baby yet? No. Simon, this is going to be a boy. To be a woman is a process. Yeah, Mr. Smith. I've always said that. Yeah, to be a woman, and like Mr. Smith, this is what I said before. I always say it. To be a woman is to be prostitute, and the next level to that is talking to men. Let me switch this because we're going to go over this. The next step is talking to men and to getting them to see it without getting angry. Because just like the friend of mine who's, a good friend of mine, his wife cheated on him, is fucked up. And the more he keeps talking, the more I'm seeing, like she's really in the lead. That's why you in this position right now, and you waiting for her to make the decision instead of you making a decision to go back to her type of thing. The guy is always the last one to figure it out. But between the man and the woman, any in every case, I would say mostly, I would say 90% at minimum. The guy is always the last one to figure it out. Can y'all still hear me? Let me make sure my audio's still right because I did switch it.
Playing from desktop.
Oh, it's super loud probably.
SS8L.
To figure it out.
Yeah, guys, the men are usually the last ones to figure it out. Because here's the other part. See, women really want to follow you. Like, they really want to follow men. And in this desperation of finding a man to follow, she will happily sit back and let you talk yourself into these ridiculous conundrums and situations. As long as she can still sit back and kind of pick out where she wants to, lead off for where she wants, where she does, what she doesn't like, and if you make it through that filter, she'll fuck with you, kind of thing. She will happily sit back and watch you talk yourself into killing yourself. She will happily sit back as long as she'll be all right and she gets paid out the whole deal and all that. She will happily do it, dude. But like I said before, every woman knows it's all prostitution. She knows it. Now, that's another deeper level of getting her to admit it, you know, and that depends on who she's talking to and the climate and, you know, all that shit. But every woman knows all of it's prostitution. Every woman on the planet knows it's prostitution. Every woman. And I get with any woman I've ever spoken to since I've been a grown adult man in life, and I deduce it all the way down. I say, yeah, that's it. Every fucking time. It's all prostitution. But here's the thing. Only a man can be dumb enough to believe. Only man can be dumb enough to believe that that prostitution is only direct cash for direct sex. That's only prostitution. Oh, yeah, that's prostitution. See, only men can be, and women love that shit. Because after that, see, now they can manipulate all the little pieces and ways to work at your ego and try to work at your masculinity and work at your self-worth of, well, are you worth more? Do you want to work for my pussy? Don't just buy me pussy. I'm not a prostitute. Bitch, you a prostitute. Don't just buy my pussy. See, now it's because that's what women do. They're going to sit back and go, oh, and figure out where and when and how to figure out how, you know, where, when, and how to plot something to you know, because it's their nature is to destroy whatever is in her vicinity, right? But it's all prostitution. To be woman is to be prostitute, right? Don't ever get excited because a woman likes you, because she likes you, right? Don't ever get excited for female attention, female validation. Don't get excited because I'd say the reason why I don't get excited about it is, okay, just as quick as my girl liked me, there was another guy who would have worshipped the ground she walked on, and she fucking didn't even acknowledge his fucking existence because she thought she was too good for him. And that dude could have been me. All right. And to other women out there, I could possibly be that, you know, that guy to some other woman. Woman's validation is nothing, dude. Except that she's gonna, you know, to get some side pussy out of her, you know, on average. But her woman's validation is fucking the most. Woman's validation is literally worthless, dude. As far as righteous morals as an individual human, right? Because again, you gotta be just as quick as my girl likes me and gets up and cooks me dinner, breakfast, cook my dad breakfast and dinner and all this, and cleans and does all this. Look, there was 3 or 4 other dudes before I came around who was trying to wife her up and take care of her and all that, and she didn't give him the time of day and ignored him, didn't write him back, didn't mess. The only reason she deal with me because I handled her right, right. Her validation, but and to be woman is to be prostitute. It's just how you're selling it. That's it. To be woman is to be prostitute, man. There is literally no way around it. There's no way around it. Now, I'm not saying that to encourage you to hate women. My thing, see, like I said, like the only one who could be this dumb enough to genuinely get mad about something like this is men, right? Because. Now, and these are the areas where I think men kind of go to the extremes. Where women go to extremes, this is the area where men go to extremes with it, right? Well, now I should hate all women. Blah, blah, blah. Like, no, like you got to accept them. Just like the example I use with motherfuckers who hunt lions and zebras and shit. Like, you know, like motherfucking lionologists don't hate lions. Lions go out and kill motherfuckers for, you know what I'm saying, just for walking on their grass and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? But you don't hate the lion, you just accept the lion for what it is, and you learn to, you know, admire its nature, even though in the reality it's fucked up, and you just move on. Right? You even pay the zoo to go take your kids to go see the lion. Right? To go, look at this motherfucker. That's his nature. You see that lion over there? That's his nature to do that. Sit around and chill till he get hungry, go fuck something up, then go sit back down. You know, that's his nature. And he just sit there looking majestic as fuck in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't hate lions, so there's no reason to hate women. They do stupid shit, but there's no reason to hate them, you know? AD, what if you and Dad take Kratos and go back to? Oh no, man, no, that'd be a lower quality of life for Kratos, man. I'm gonna get him on a live stream, but no, that'd be a deduction in quality of life taking him back to Ohio. I ain't doing that. He'd be better off over here. What's the story you calling yourself, Dick? Oh, cause it was a joke. Cause I had to make up a channel name, and I just tried to. First I tried like the real like raunchy words, and it wouldn't let it go through. So then I just tried Dick, and when it worked. So that's how. There's no story behind it. No real story. So yeah. Oh, let me read through a couple more of these comments. I'm only going to stay on for about maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, and I'm going to get off. Let me read through a couple of these comments. Do you think women being prostitutes are living their true purpose? Yeah. Lana? Yeah. Well, okay, now some women just aren't built for that life to be like a pure prostitute, meaning like when I say like a pure prostitute, it's like working at Show Park, right? Or in the States being a streetwalker. Like that's a prostitute. Now, like, woman being prostitute, like it's all gonna come back to the same thing. It's just how is this one dressing it up? Okay, because it's okay. Hang on, let me take a swig real quick. Because okay, there's gonna be two types of women in the world mostly. I say there'd be two types of women in the world. One, okay, there's a woman who's always going to want a man who's... Oh, okay, no. Well, hear me out on this. Because it's still really one type of woman. It's just coming out in a different way. But hear me out. In this context, there's only going to be two types of women. One is going to be the woman who's going to want, like the alpha male for whatever reason, whether he's, intellectually, physically, or financially above her. Preferably all three. Every woman wants preferably all three. But a lot of women end up having to settle for one or two out of the three. But all women want all three. Because women... Okay, if you were to let women go, they would just fuck their own fathers. Or older brothers or uncles. They would never go out into the world. Because you got to remember, to a woman, sex is nothing special and all this shit like that. Sex is nothing more than a back massage, dude. You got to remember that shit. That whole hype behind sex, that's men in the world putting that. And then women are figuring out through men that it's something special. Now they act accordingly, But to women alone, they don't care about. Sex is nothing more than a fucking gash between her fucking legs that you just shove something in. That's all it is to her. She doesn't fucking... It's no special, action. But yeah, there's going to be two... But typically, there's going to be two women. Which really, it's going to come back to being one woman overall. But let's just try to break it down. There'll be two types of women. One woman, she's going to want a guy who's better than her on all three fronts, meaning financially, physically, and intellectually. But most women usually have to settle for, one or three because, they age and then they can't, get away with what they want to get away with. Yo, thanks for the donation, man. Yeah, I'm going to try to get to it. I don't want to talk too much. Thanks, RBT. Thanks for the donation, for the $1 donation. I appreciate it. To the gym and dot, how you say dot in the email. I'll try to get to it, man. If not, I'll do it either tomorrow or Thursday. Yeah. So it's gonna be, she's gonna want one of those three, and appearingly, if the guy is not one of those, because we all know the girl who went and hooked up with with some broke dude and all that shit like that, right? We all know the women who go do that. So when the woman does go with a guy who has nothing and has lesser than her, and she's going there like happily going there, not going there because she's just gotten older and now she has to settle because she can't find a man, but like she's happily going to this motherfucker, right? This motherfucker who has no money, no perspectives to get anything in life. She's looking for a pimp. She's looking to go, and there's a lot of women who like this. There's a lot of women who genuinely crave it, but they're afraid to admit it. A lot of women love this idea. I'm not going to say it's nowhere near half, but there's a decent amount of popular, because I knew a few who was like this. There's a lot of women who want to go out and work and come home and bring all the money and just give the man all the money and let him just, you know, do whatever he wants with it. There's a lot of women who like that. Right? It's uncommon, but it's not uncommon kind of thing, right? Once you meet women like that and you let them start, but the reality of it is, well, she still wants a guy who's intellectually better than her, because that's who she's going to trust with that. She's not going, you know, and when I say intellectually, it may not be like a, you know, like a banker or something like that. It'd be like some hood dude or some shit like that. But he has to give off the presence that she can trust him, type of thing, right? So in the end, the guy still has to be better than her, right? But here's the thing. Now, when she goes and does that, and she finds out the guy is really a chump, oh, she's on her way out. Once she's figured that she's better than him, she ain't dealing. She's on her way out. But all of it's prostitution. The exchange has it comes down to prostitution. It's just it. I want to train when I'm in future, have more money, and I'm in free time. I'm 26 now. Word up. Read comments. Let's see. What's your top 10 video games? Depends on what I feel like, man. In the context. So quick video game rant. Well, I got real into No Man's Sky, which I still think is pretty impressive now for what it is. But as far as games that hit me hard, as far as story, the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, when that came out, it was a different time period, and the way that game ended, how the story ended up, it was like, oh shit, you know, one of them Twilight Zone kind of endings, kind of thing. I didn't care for the second one at all. Warrior Within, the soundtrack was good, but everything else I just didn't care for, because I hate backtracking, and that Warrior Within was just filled with backtracking, and I hate backtracking. It depends on what time of day it is and where you. Spider-Man was pretty good. Red Dead Redemption was a slow burn, but that got really good once you got the hang of what was going on. Just like I said, Spider-Man was good. Wolverine Origins, whatever that game was, that was real good. It just depends on what time of day you get me at, man, and where my brain is. Retro games for them. Yo, what's up, Matthew? Retro games? I'm slowly getting back into retro games, man. Like, I'm to the 2D. Because I used to didn't like 2D. You're speaking facts. My mother to this day gives her checks to my father, and he handles all the finances. Yeah, Javi. Yeah. Like I said, it's uncommon, but but the thing is, like, see, and a lot, with women like that, they not walking down the street broadcasting it, so you're not gonna know. Just like, dude, I'm telling you, like, some of the freaks I've had, you look at her and you would never fucking, well, you gonna see in this video, this is one of them. Well, not one of mine, but another scenario. Like with the whole, like, see that, and that's where I think the manosphere is fucking up, man. This whole focus on, like, when men are talking about this shit out loud, well, bitches just gonna come in there and figure it out, and they just gonna learn to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Just say, oh, well, I ain't been with nobody. And you know what I'm saying? And some bitches can pull it off very well. You would never guess. Some of the girls, like, dude, I told y'all the one girl I had, and she had like 2 or 3 kids. When you would never guess she had 2 or 3 kids. And that girl was one of the type of girls who would do porn like out in public. I mean, she just didn't. But the thing is, like, you would never know until you got to sitting down and talking to her. Or a little Russian girl I had, when COVID started. She was one of them. She was a school. She was teaching university. She was one of them. She was one, like, but she was so shy. Like, I had to randomly get it out of her. I told y'all that story when this when COVID first started, and all the countries started getting banned, and we was sitting outside this bar, and we just met them, and somebody brought up getting choked or something like that, and she just like smiled and looked down, and I caught it. I said, and that's how, like, I made my approach, and then, hollered at her, and so, like, within 2 sentences, I remember I asked her, so when was the last time you got fucked right? And she goes, it was about 2 months ago. There's a guy met at a bar, but they never. She said, her English was a little off, but overall, what she was saying, she said, yeah, it was about 2 months ago. It was a guy met at a bar, but those guys never stay. So, like, they just end up like. But when you seen her, you would have never, tall, skinny, one of them typical, tall, skinny Russian bitches type of thing. But if you on her program, see, here's the thing. Now, here's the thing. Once you get out in the U.S., women. Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna start this video in a minute. But here's the thing. In America, women are so busy trying to become men that they're trying to falsely adopt characteristics of men, meaning like it's more about like what you look like and all this shit up front. Whereas, okay, once you leave the U.S., your character and game and how you approach means so much more. Because that girl, let me tell you, I remember we was walking down to the river and I had my arm around her waist, right? Now, you got to think in ratio. My arm was around her waist, and I was like this. And her waist was like up to here type of shit. And I had my arm around her waist. And I remember because we was walking and like she was one of those, you could just if you just start choking her, she would just go and do anything, dude, like anything. But I think out in the West, women are so caught up with trying to become men, with this whole trying to be equal and become men, that they're completely forgetting what it is, how to give in to their womanly desires. They've just completely lost all track of it because they're so busy trying to become men, So they're just losing all, and on top of that, men are giving in and giving it to them. So they're just going along with the dingbat feminists and then the pussy men. Like they're just following the path. like you ain't gonna get femininity out of dingbat feminists and pussy men. Dingbat feminists and pussy men does not breed feminine women. All right, it's gonna breed masculine bitches. It's gonna breed masculine cunts. That's all it's gonna breed. You ain't gonna get that. That's not gonna bring out the feminine women who can be decent partners in life, all right, for multiple reasons. Right before I start this video, I'll say this. That Amber Heard scenario is going to bring out a whole lot more stories like this. Okay, two things. It's going to bring out a whole lot. But thanks for the subscription, Bumble. I don't know how to say that. I'll just say Bumble. Thanks for the subscription, man. I say this. On one hand, I'm upset that it had to come to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. But on the other hand, I'm happy that men finally did get the courage to actually question and think about shit and not attack other men for questioning and thinking about shit about women and not just giving women an automatic free pass because they're bitches, right? Like, but on the other hand, I'm like, did it really? It had to take Johnny Depp with a $50 million defamation case for you to be like, now I can. Maybe I won't bash other men for questioning women's actions now. Like, are you that fucking stupid and pathetic, Derek? Whatever the fuck these motherfuckers' names is doing this. You know what I'm saying? I just came with the first name I could think of. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm happy and I'm mad for the, at the same time. But either way, I think it's coming to a good conclusion. But I think the Amber Heard thing. Now what I don't like, which is was it 2 steps forward, one step back? I don't know how true this is, but I seen how Johnny Depp doesn't even want the money from her. He just wanted it for his reputation, and I think that's a horrible decision. Make that bitch pay you. Because all that's going to do is send a message to bitches all throughout at least North America to say, oh, well, you could even do this and you ain't going to get no trouble. Right? You could even be, all that's going to tell to fucking retarded dingbat feminist cunts is that, well, you could even do this. And you could literally be on 4K recording, lying your ass off in the fucking camera, get busted in court by another bitch, and the man will still take it soft on you because you're a woman. No, Johnny's like, Johnny, that was 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Make that bitch pay. Make her pay you every fucking penny. Because if you don't, mark my words, and within 5 years, there's going to be another motherfucker up there. and they going to be expecting it now. Take that money, take every fucking dime out her fucking pocket. Because listen, Johnny, if you ever catch this, which I can't say I'm a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean because I ain't never watched one, but I liked you in Edward Scissorhands. That was my shit. I still feel sorry for you in that movie. That shit was sad to me. But Johnny, did Amber Heard give a fuck about you losing all those movies? While Disney's punk ass ran around, still sold all your shit with your face on it, and they kicked you out the fucking movie. You think Amber Heard? Oh, I don't want to do that to Johnny. You think I think I hit Johnny out? That bitch didn't give a fuck about you, Johnny. She didn't lose a wink of sleep. She went. That bitch slept better that night. That bitch didn't give a fuck. So fuck that bitch. Fuck her. But she's a cute woman that you stuck your dick in. Oh, I don't want the money. No, take that shit. No, take every fucking fuck that shit. Because she didn't give a fuck about your life. She didn't give a fuck about your career, your reputation, your family that heard that shit, your friends that seen the pictures and the rumors. She didn't give a fuck about any of that. How much money, Johnny? How much money did you lose out of all them movies? Not just them movies, all the movies that you possibly could have got later. How much time, effort, stress, and money did you lose? And do you think Amber? Think about it. See, this is the hard part for men to think about. See, because men want to worship women for real. Out of all that, how much money did you lose out that shit? So you mean to tell me you on this whole thing well, I don't want to take the money from her. I just want to make a statement. No, motherfucker, you doing more harm now. Because now all that's going to do is send to the world that, yeah, you could, motherfucker, if you're a bitch, you can get caught red-handed international on YouTube where motherfuckers who don't even speak English know both of your names now and know everything that's going on. And you still ain't going to get no trouble because you're an innocent woman. That's a worse decision, man. Like, no, take that shit, dude. Make that bitch pay every fucking dime, every fucking penny, every fucking peso, a fucking penny of a penny. Make her pay all that shit. Fuck out of here. Talking about some, oh, you was on to a good start, then you fucked all up with that. All that did was just send the message that, oh yeah, society gonna be mad at you for a little while, but you gonna be alright. They ain't gonna make you do nothing, girl. Because how much you bet Johnny paid for them attorneys? How much you want to bet Johnny paid for all that shit up in there in one way or another? How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet he paid for the attorney? Either directly or indirectly. How much you want to bet? This motherfucker talking about some, I don't want her. Get the fuck out of here, man. That bitch ain't give a fuck about your life, so fuck her life. See, that's the attitude you gotta have. See, here's the thing. That woman is never gonna respect him. That woman and other women, all right? At this point, the only way a woman would respect him, and this is real shit. This is real shit. At this point, the only way a woman's gonna truly respect him is he gonna have to do something wild, like beat a bitch up on TV or something, and not like just beat a bitch, like you know what I'm saying, like whoop, like backhand a bitch. I'm talking like Batman in the Batman movie, like jump on top of the bitch and just start, so everybody see it and don't give a fuck about a prison sentence at all, and let everybody see it. That's the only way. Okay, because some men still gonna be mad about it, right? But bitches gonna get off to that. That's the only way bitches gonna really respect him. Okay, like genuinely, they gonna respect him because he's Johnny Depp. I get that because he did the movies and all that. But him, like on a sexual, intimate level, ain't no bitches gonna respect him after that. No, because you didn't let her. Because you ain't put your motherfucking foot down. You let that bitch. That bitch done shit in your bed, talked all types of shit, and you still ain't going and putting your fucking foot down. What, you think putting your foot down was bringing her in a courtroom, walking her ass in a climate control courtroom where they still had to question your ass for 3 fucking days and 3 weeks and shit? No, they ain't putting your foot down. Put your foot down is hurting that bitch. Take all her fucking money. Let that bitch go live in a fucking homeless. Fuck that bitch, man. Let that bitch live in a homeless shelter. She know exactly what she did. And you want to know what else? She secretly wants him to do that. She ain't gonna admit it. She'll never admit it. Bitches watch me right now talking about it, getting turned on by me talking like that. Bitches in this who watching right now are getting turned on to me just talking like that, cause they want it for real. They don't want you just give them something just cause they a woman and you fucked her 2 or 3 times before and gave her a bunch of money. She don't want, and she wants you to put your foot down. Take that fucking money. And you know what you do? You take the money. It don't matter what you do with it. Whatever you do, just don't go giving it to women in any kind of way unless they hookers. Don't go giving it for some righteous shit to bitches. That's the last thing you do. All right? Cause he on this whole morally high ground. See, that moral high ground is a man moral high ground. See, see that Johnny, what he's trying to do with her. See, Johnny, do that shit to Edward Maya or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker who took your song or something like that. Do that shit to him. You know what I'm saying? Do that shit to your brother. Or, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna make him pay. Don't do this to no bitch, man. Cause she is never gonna respect you on that. She's never gonna respect you over that, man. And any woman who hears me talk like this is secretly getting fucking wet because I don't give a fuck about her feelings. I don't give a fuck about her life. All right? And she's getting turned the fuck on right now. All right? Amber Heard ain't getting turned on by Johnny. Oh, he may be paid. Now all she gonna do is they going to fuck around and get back together and she gonna do the same thing again. Because she knows she ain't gonna get no trouble for it. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? Almost lost it there. It's fucking crazy, man. Fucking crazy. It's just pathetic. I gotta take a break, man. I gotta take a second to collect. Cause like I said, Johnny was doing good till he did that, and then just no. See, that's a hard part that men have to work through mentally and deal with. Is see that morally righteous shit. You do that with other men. You don't do that with women. All right, don't do that with women, because if anything, that woman was definitely keeping track. The man might have genuinely forgot some shit or you got busy, whatever the fuck. But that woman, that woman is keeping track of every single interpersonal interaction with people who are of value to her. She is keeping track of every minuscule fucking detail, dude. That was 2 steps. I said that was 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Ain't no point of, that was awful. Take that money. Make her pay that shit. Take that shit. Make her pay it. The moral high ground that AustriaDick is talking about does not apply to women. Yeah, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Yeah, King the Conqueror, it doesn't. That moral, you cannot, because you can't do, okay. Well, okay, even if she's righteous and all that, like, you gotta, like, because women are like, because not like, they are mentally children. Not like children, they are mentally children. You can't let them do that, man. Like, once you, I say it's worse than children, because children got an excuse, because children just don't know. Where she knows, all right? She knows. You can't let her, you can't let her get away with that. I can't stress that enough, man. That was 1 step forward, 2 steps back. On top of that, he won on YouTube, bro. On YouTube. On internationally, everybody was tuning in that shit. Everybody was tuning into it. You couldn't go anywhere without that shit popping up somewhere. And he won? And you didn't give all this shit back? I'm reading the comments. Good guys always face plant before the finish line, yeah. And then everybody pass them up on top of that. They face plant and everybody pass them up. Trump destroyed some broad for defaming him some time ago. I'm not even surprised, Mr. Smith. I'm not even surprised because I've always been open about that. Like I didn't like Donald Trump as a president, but with that alpha shit, he did essentially everything. Like I wasn't on Trump because of that whole Spanish people thing, and they Mexicans bringing over the rapists and the murderers and all that. And that was his fucking go-to line to get people to vote for him. So he was essentially speaking to the forgotten people of America kind of thing. But how he handled the aftermath of that shit was straight alpha shit. He didn't apologize for none of that shit. Because if he had apologized, it would have just kept getting worse. Because then they would have questioned everything. So he had to stand up for. See, and that's why that Donald Trump, and in that situation of standing up for, even I didn't care for and all that, but the fact that he stood for what he believed in and didn't apologize for it, like, oh my bad, I'm sorry for my reviews and all that shit like that, I'll try to be a better human and all that shit. Like, no, see, here's the thing. As a man, you are better off just owning and accepting what the fuck you are and what the fuck you believe type of shit, instead of like trying to please motherfuckers and trying, you know what I'm saying, you better off just stand up for what you fucking believe in, right? And Trump did that was some alpha shit. He didn't apologize for shit. So here we go. We're gonna start this video.
What's up, everybody? Today we've got an awesome story about a wife that wanted an open relationship, but now regrets it. Hello all. Never once did I think I would get to this point, to the point of reaching out to strangers on the internet for guidance, but here we are. My wife and I have been together for 10 years, but married for 8. We met in college and were each other's firsts and only. I honestly thought we had a unique and beautiful relationship because of that, but it appears that was just me. Some time ago, my wife began working at a new company. At first, she found it difficult to fit in because she's always been reserved, but after encouragement from me, she made friends with a group of girls, some of whom were single, divorced, or dating but not married. At first, I was happy she made friends, but then she started going out for drinks, partying, or some other thing her friends had planned. I became concerned by her change in behavior and tried to talk to her about it, but at the same time, didn't want to restrict her in any way. It started to affect our relationship in the bedroom. My wife wasn't one to initiate intimacy, but with her continued going out, she was either too tired or wasn't in the mood. At some point, her company got a new manager whom my wife and her friends had taken a shining to. She began mentioning him in passing, but it got to a point where she was pointing out how he handled certain problems that didn't seem to be work-related. I questioned her on her fascination with this man, and she brushed off my concerns. She even started asking if I regretted not having more experience with women, to which I said no, because she is all I ever needed. I swore I thought for a moment I saw a flash of sadness in her eyes, but she quickly changed the subject. She started mentioning open marriages as a way to spice up our marriage. I was taken aback because my wife is never this kind of person, and not that liberal sexually, to be honest. I had first refused and questioned if this had anything to do with the new manager, to which she denied, but said she felt like she missed out, but at the same time didn't want to lose me, so this was a safer option. I warned her that she was playing with fire, then reluctantly and naively agreed. So we set some rules, mainly not to sleep with another person in our home. So for a year, and my wife goes on dates, has one-night stands, then as if I didn't see it coming, somehow is in some kind of relationship with that manager. I, on the other hand, had a few dates, but no one-night stands, because it frequently felt wrong to me. My wife would ask if I was fine, but really wouldn't change her behavior. At some point, I felt the love I had for her, that pure, special innocence of marriage, was gone, and it was killing me inside. I ended up going on a date with an amazing woman who migrated over from South Korea. Conversation was effortless. She had the wit of a lightning-fast whip crack and a smile that would make one forget himself. This, of course, led to more dates until we were intimate. I honestly never had sex like I had with this woman. I never knew a woman could be so giving and make one feel so desirable. At first, my wife thought it was cute, but as the months went by, she began questioning my relationship with my lover. I promptly pointed out that this was her idea, and even that she was in a relationship with the manager I was concerned about. She was silent. She looked like she wanted to say something, but held her tongue. She began coming home early to surprise me with dinner and get the house extra clean. She also started coming to my workplace to drop off lunch and began to initiate intimacy in the bedroom. Honestly, if it wasn't for her opening up our marriage, which I am also to blame for agreeing, all this would have had me jumping for joy. I barely gave in to her attempts at intimacy, and when I did, it was simply to get it over with. Something in me towards my wife died, and I could see she felt it too. I asked what brought on this change in her, what was different. The response I got was that she wants to show me that she loves me and is happy with me. I never intended to, but I burst out laughing. I asked what about her little group of friends, her manager lover, or her one-night stands. She didn't respond that day and simply went to bed in tears. The next day, I get home to find her waiting for me. She told me she wants to close our marriage. This whole experience was a horrible mistake that regrets everything and wants us to be the focus of our relationship again. I told her to be honest with me and tell me what inspired all this in the first place, and wouldn't you know it, it was her group of friends that planted the idea because of their numerous sexual exploits, and when her manager came around, he surprisingly supported that lifestyle and encouraged my wife to live free. Apparently, it developed into an emotional affair, but only got physical once the marriage opened. Wow, like that makes it better. She described it as being drunk behind the wheel of a speeding car. It was thrilling, intoxicating, but the price of the decision has become too much for her to bear. She sees now that she never needed a comparison, and that what we had was truly unique and special, but now she feels like she murdered our marriage and any chance of a life together. I told her I might not ever be able to see her as my wife again, and this made her break down in front of me. I simply held her in silence as she cried until she fell asleep in my arms on the couch. She has since left her job and cut off contact with all of her friends and her manager, and even told me she's willing to spend the rest of her life making it up to me and work her fingers to the bone to be seen as a wife by me. But I haven't cut contact with my lover. My lover, quite frankly, makes me feel like a man, like I can challenge the world, and my wife hasn't in a while. Truth is, I don't know what to do in this situation. I would love to get the special feeling back if possible. My lover basically saved me when I was at my lowest. Please help me. Forgot to add, we have our first marriage counseling session in a couple of hours. Not sure how that will go.
Okay, so at 5 minutes in, long story short, you know, his wife went to work and got to hang around other dingbat bitches, and like I say all the time, women. I think it should be illegal for women to talk to each other. I think you should be able to call the police, and they should have to pay a fine and do 10 days, at least 10 days in jail. No questions asked. If you catch them congregating anywhere, you should be able to just go, police. Yeah, it's some bitches talking to each other again. Okay, yeah, we'll send over 3 units. Thank you. Click. And then they just go. You just take them. Right. Long story short, his wife went to work, started talking to some other women, and destroyed everything. Because that's what women do. Women on their own are not made to. Women on their own are literally not wired to build anything positive. You know, they're just not wired for that. If they get, especially the more left alone they are, the worse it gets. Right? So she goes to work. She talks to some other bitches, and what women do, they just follow. All women do is just follow, because they don't create anything. They don't come up with anything logical. They just follow anything, and the easiest thing to follow, especially in this context, is whatever the fuck it is whatever's the most destructive. That's usually the easiest thing to follow. Because it's emotion. Destruction equals emotion. And women love that. So she goes off, fucks the manager. Wants an open relationship, right? So then he goes off and has an open relationship. And just like a while back, I did probably about 4 or 5 months ago, I did a video about a woman who went over pretty much this general theory of the whole reason why women are mad in online dating is because men do what the women were going to do first to them. You know, pump and dump them, don't call them back. You know, we ain't, left them because the men left them first. So the men are the evil ones. So where I'm going with this is, at the core, like I say so many times before, men are the ones who genuinely want to care about shit, right? Like, men are the ones who genuinely walk out in the world and genuinely want to care for others. That's men. Women don't do these things. Fucking period. Okay. And I'll say fucking period. Women do not do this. Women do not go out in the world and genuinely look out in the world and say, you know what, like I want to care about something. I want to help out in society. I genuinely want to care for others except myself for no other reason, just to do it. Women don't do this. Men do it, right? Yo, thanks for the donation, Distress. I'm gonna read that in a minute, man. Thanks for the donation. Men do that, right? And so, as this works in dating, is this, and I said this a while back. So let's say the open relationship thing, right? Women, see, this whole women are good at multitasking and all this. No, they're fucking terrible at multitasking. That's another myth that's been put out there because people talk themselves into thinking that a woman is smarter than she is just because she's fuckable, right? So now she must be this intelligent, godlike being because you want to fuck her, right? So to elaborate, a woman cannot give herself to multiple people. Like when it comes to fucking, right? She can't truly give, like she can't give herself. Women can genuinely, like purely give themselves only to one person, right? At a time. Now she'll slowly try to string it along, if she's got a good beta provider and all that, so she doesn't want to lose this, pretty much Jada Pinkett. She's found this just great beta provider, so now she knows that that he's such a chump that she knows that he's never going to grow any balls to put his foot down, and punish her. Johnny Depp, he's never going to put his fucking foot down. So now she's going to be buck wild. There's nothing there, there's no sense of loss in her game, right? But these are like the best case scenarios, which is more and more prevalent, especially in America, to have the beta provider to pay for all the meals and all that while she's, chasing some other guy type of thing. Now on the flip side, men can. I think Dave Chappelle, he briefly touched on this, back in the 90s, a man could have, 2 or 3 families, at the same time. And literally be like, and they would be like 10 miles apart, and none of them would never know each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that man like genuinely had some care in him for all of them, right? That man had some care in there for Susan, Jocelyn, and Sarah, right? When that woman hops in there, and when that woman, she can't do that. And this is why women are just totally inferior outside the household. This is why like the joke, they got to go back to the kitchen and all that. No, there's validity to that, because once she steps out the kitchen, like woman cannot apply true, genuine care to other shit. This is why most women don't have hobbies. This is why most women usually aren't good at anything in life other than trying to be fuckable, trying to pick up on drama, trying to pick up on social cues, and that's about it. Applying makeup, figuring out where to get a pedicure from, something like that, and that's about as far as her brain's gonna go, more times than not. And so, like, that's why I say, women belong in the kitchen. Because a woman has to focus on that. That's where see, men, we can go out in that world. Men can go out there and have different families, and all them women truly feel like he cares about them. You see? Whereas on the flip side, see, them men know when the woman goes out there and tries it, the man knows, yeah, that woman, something, no. She's separate. See, women cannot keep that connection up. Whereas a man can. We can keep that connection up with Sarah, Jocelyn, Susan, Jessica. We can juggle and maintain that connection with those because we genuinely fucking care. Whereas women can't do that because those men will know. Wait a minute, you a little off. Something ain't right. And yeah, and that's how this shit happens. And again, it's that thing where, like I said earlier, especially in the West, women are so infatuated with masculinity and men. They're like, women are seriously so infatuated with masculinity and men that they will do literally anything to tear it down, in any kind of way possible, even if it means literally creating their own lore and then attack you for not knowing it. For example, hi, my name is Sarah. Her slash it slash they. I'm they slash she. Like, what the fuck is this dumbass shit? Like, for real, like, because men didn't sit around and come up with this shit. Hi, my name is John, him, Mr. They. That's my prefix. See, this is what bitches and childish men come up with. Bitches and feminine men come up with. You see what I'm saying? Because they're so pathetic and they hate masculinity so much that they have to create their own lore that they know is going to be complicated as fuck, that you're not going to get it. And they get mad at you, the man, for not, they'll find anything, any way they can weasel in to try to tear you down, tear your masculinity down. Because they're infatuated, because they're so infatuated by it because they can't understand it because it's so natural. Because at the, okay, and here's the next part. They're infatuated and they're jealous and envious of it because at the end of the day, men are very simple because we just know what we want. Literally, pretty much from the jump, from the start, we know what we want. We just want an attractive woman that knows how to take a bath and don't talk too much and can cook and shit like that. And we'll happily go out and get, food, money, whatever the fuck, and just make a household. We know what we want. Where, see, bitches are so dumb, they have to follow everything in life to where that individual woman, especially in the West, she's so confused now, she's just lost. Like I used to say it all the time. See, women, especially in the West, they've learned how to become men, but they've forgotten how to be a woman. So they've learned how to like things as a man. They've learned how to try to attempt to adopt a male mentality of fucking around and all this stuff like that and doing all this stuff. But they've forgotten what it's like to be fucking valued as a woman. You see what I'm saying? Because I see at the end of the day, okay. Let me dive in deeper. Okay, so let me go ahead and break down this whole Instagram shit, right? All Instagram is just retarded bitches. And it's retarded bitches still trying. Okay. Like I said a while back, when you be like 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, right? And let's say it's a 22-year-old guy and a 22-year-old girl goes to the club. Well, first off, 22-year-old girls don't get more attention because that's just all that she needs to sell is to be 22-year-old woman. She doesn't need anything else, right? But let's ignore that fact, right? Women are, generally speaking, women are not social. They sit back and observe a lot of social cues, but they're not social, as an individual. But they observe a lot, There's not a lot of intricate, like thought as far as keeping conversations going and anything like that. They're piss poor in the world as far as functionality goes. Like what gets them by is, people want to fuck them, blah, 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 blah. So, wait, I was reading a comment. I just lost my train of thought. Why I hate masculinity. Yeah. Okay, so with this Instagram, the Instagram is literally just an extension of what the club used to be back like when I was younger, right? Since women are universally piss poor in literally everything except just standing there and being a woman and waiting to get fucked. What's she gonna need? She's gonna need protection. She's gonna need to latch on to somebody to get her through social interactions. She's gonna need somebody to latch on to get her out of a deeper thought, to get out of a problem. So she's gonna need somebody to latch on to get her out of it, right? To drag her out of the problem. So who's gonna be best for that? The guy who's popular. Because he must have skills, he must have talent in his field because he's popular. He must have worked his way through it. Right? So that's what they're going to want. But see here, okay, but the next step, this is where the whole thing of the like attracts like thing comes in. Like I said a long time ago, when guys take these duck face selfies, they used to take duck face selfies ago and post them on Facebook to try to get bitches' attention and say, hey, like I'm just like you. Bitches are doing that. Bitches are doing the like attracts like, meaning They want to come off as popular because they think that if I'm popular, then a popular guy is going to want me, and that's who I weasel on there. It's the same thing like how when women go out and they want to buy what's the Louis, what's the red bottom shit, the Chanel, I can't think of the fucking name brands. This is why women want expensive clothing. You see, because at the end of the day, 10 out of 10 women who's dressing all this expensive shit on Instagram and all this, those bitches can't tell you the stitch pattern from the quality of leather, if it's even leather on that, the maintenance for it. She doesn't know a fucking ounce of maintenance on any of that expensive, or how it was made, where it was made, why it was made, and how it was made, and who it was made by. She don't care. She doesn't know. All bitches know is that's expensive. So if I buy this, expensive men might see me, and that's how I fit in. The same thing how this live stream started earlier with bitches getting breast implants and all that. It's the same. She's desperate to get attention of a certain quality of man. But here's the thing. See, the fact that woman just sells, many people don't apply actual thought to it. And if they do, they'll get thrashed in society because society wants to, play white knight for all the bitches because they all think they're going to get, they secretly think they're going to get, bonus points for her pussy for fighting for her. And she knows it. She's not stupid in this regard. She knows it, right? Right? But again, so back to the real side, why women hate masculinity is because as men, here's the thing, as men, we eventually grow out of that. Whereas woman's thought process is eternally stunted. As long as she's cute, it's eternally stunted because she always has that safety net of going, well, I'm cute, so I get validation on social media and I don't need to think anymore. So that dynamic is why women on a whole are eternally mentally stunted, because she can always still get that validation like that. Whereas men, we don't got that same option. So we're forced to sit down. We're forced to think more. We're forced to plot and strategize and apply actual genuine thought to things. You see, but it's that growth period because we don't have that option to just create a Tinder account and get 300 matches in 4 hours. We don't have it like that, like bitches do, because and that's a whole nother topic. But we don't have it like that. So we get happier just knowing what we like, knowing what we want to do, and we know we know what we're here for, what we like, and that's what women can't fucking stand. We don't have to go in the mirror for fucking 8 hours trying on different makeups to get different, get that quick hit of validation because we're fuckable. We don't have to go in the mirror for 8 hours applying 30 different makeups to see which shade fits our skin the best to make us look more fuckable in public, to get that cocaine hit of validation by society again. See, because we sit down and actually apply deeper thought. That's what drives women, and this is why women hate masculine men, because we don't have to do that, because we know what the fuck we are. That's why. Them pretty bitches, the whatever. Let's use Billie, because Billie Eilish keeps coming up for some reason in my phone and shit like that. She ain't even the most beautiful woman on the planet. But hear me out. Especially on a slow night, you come across Billie Eilish and she talking about she trying to fuck. Yeah, she's fuckable. Now, again, and this is another area, for the women who's watching, just because a woman's fuckable does not mean she's special in any sense of the imagination. All right, if Billie Eilish shut the fuck up, catch her at a right angle and put proper makeup on, I think she'd be a pretty girl. I think she would be. But even then, that does not qualify her for anything. But the fact that I said I think she's a pretty girl, women's brains are so fucking short wired. All she heard was all the women that's watching stream said, "Oh, he thinks she's pretty," and that was it. That was it. It stopped right there. And see, the fact that I can go on and ramble about actual genuine morals, characteristics, and thought. See, that's what women, because don't be mad at women, but they literally cannot keep up. Okay? They mentally cannot keep up. So they hope you just sit back and talk yourself into believing something to put yourself underneath her again. because mentally, blow for blow, generally speaking in life, most women cannot keep up with you, okay, they can't keep up with you, or even if they can, their instincts is they want to follow you because they know that man eventually knows what he wants, and that's better than being a pretty woman who doesn't know what she wants, but she can go, she can do a lot of shit, but the woman still don't know what she wants. She like that comfort of knowing what you want. See, that comfort in knowing what you want and being content, even if what you want is relatively unattainable and all that, see, you don't overestimate the comfort of knowing, right? Of knowing. So here's a quick side rant: the comfort of knowing, right? Because I got in a conversation with a guy a few days ago about this. The comfort of knowing, right? Let's use welfare as an example. The comfort of knowing means, and this is just the comfort of knowing is more it's comfortable. So I think Abraham Lincoln, did Thomas Jefferson, one of them old motherfuckers said this shit, right? A long time ago. He said okay, I can't remember the exact statement, so I'm just gonna say it. So this is just human nature. Let's say I'm just gonna round off numbers just to make it easier so everybody can understand it. Let's say the average wage of your country is $1,000 a month, right? Now let's say you can get on welfare, and welfare will give you $600 a month. But the average wage is $1,000 a month to live, comfortably, maybe not super comfortably, but you're all right, you're not struggling. But let's say the government was offering to pay you half that on welfare. Well, the reality is humans would rather go with that safe bet of getting that $600 a month and just struggling because they know what to expect than to go out there and try anything else in life and become better with the possibility of just, trumping that fucking little $600 or $1,000 a month. They go out there and make $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, right? Humans would rather go with that safe bet of just struggling and know they're struggling than to go out there and take a chance and go into the unknown. You see, so that scenario. So essentially, what bitches are living life off of $600 a month, right? That's their safe bet. They'll have some good and bad points, but overall, it's not really gonna get them anywhere, but just worse overall speaking. Because they in that because the bitches, they gonna be pretty, they gonna get fucked. That's what's gonna happen. They gonna get kids. Now in the West, child support's become a goal for the women because they'll just wipe their ass. But in a lot of the world, it's not. The governments aren't gonna wipe their ass. So outside the U.S., the women are gonna be more fucked up, but they know they got that little $600 a month coming, and they know it's coming, so they know what to expect. Or let's break it down even before all that happens. If she's pretty, well, why apply thought if she's pretty? Because she knows she can get the validation. Because she knows she can go hop on Tinder and have guys line up on. So there's no reason for her to apply thought, right? Because she has that easy way out. Now, it's not very valuable because, everything about a woman's life is temporary. It's nothing about it. Very few women actually genuinely go out there with the thought of being self-sufficient. And then once they do, well, woman's logic, once she becomes self-sufficient, well, now she's going to want a man who's just going to be out her league by the time she becomes self-sufficient. So she's going to be that crazy old woman with cats and cat food. But, it's just that, like, the women essentially are the people living off $600 a month, on welfare for $600 a month. They would rather just go with what they know instead of going out there into the unknown and actually, creating character and building off of calluses and scars to become stronger. Because being stronger means being uncomfortable, right? When you're building muscle mass, you got to go through some type of relative pain to build up muscle, right? And women hate being uncomfortable. So they're going to go to the easiest route. Hey, did you hear about the women that sued a Geico for getting an STD in a car and was awarded? What? She got awarded for it? The car insurance company? Geico paid a bitch $5 million because she supposedly got an STD in a car. What did she say? She got it from just sitting in the car without panties on or something like that? Do you think guys? Oh, every time guys always get better, man. Guys always get better. Now the thing is, now it's like from that visual aspect, society's always gonna say, well, women get better because women can always just throw on 10 more pounds of makeup, and then for guys who don't know how to see through it, they'll just say, well, women look better and all that. But no, like guys, the men, from a righteousness character standpoint, men always end up better than women. Always. Let's continue with this.
The therapist seemed nice and experienced. She appeared unbiased and actually eager to help. Even though it was our very first session, my wife took it as an opportunity to lay it all out, it seems. She confessed that this group of friends made her wonder if she had missed her chance because she was committed to her first boyfriend and had no other experiences, that she never had the same adventures some of these supposedly amazing women had. Remember, some of whom are divorced, but none are married. The therapist pointed out that this can be, and often is, detrimental to a marriage due to the difference in mindset. My wife seemed to agree, then added that after the new manager started approaching her, some of these friends encouraged her to see where it goes, that this was a chance for her to explore or discover herself. She obviously felt guilty, so she says, so she never did anything physical until one of the divorced ones suggested an open marriage as the loophole, and told her that some couples come out stronger because of it. So, after regrettably, again so she says, convincing me to open up the marriage, her so-called adventure began. It was intoxicating and blinding, but lacked real substance. Not like the kind we built over the years, and she started to question her reasons for doing this. She said she could see the hurt in my eyes, but told herself this was an adventure. She said she'll never forgive herself for this, her chance to have an amazing experience. So the gravity of it all never really hit her until she noticed the change in me. At first, she assumed because I went on dates, I would gradually accept her situation and be okay with it, but that all changed when my lover became a constant appearance in my adventure. Apparently, I started to smile again for no reason, and my eyes would light up when I would get a text message or when I cheerfully left the room to answer a call. She said she suddenly felt a pit in her stomach and started to get mini panic attacks for no reason. She went to her friends for advice again, but they said it was a normal reaction for me to have during the adventure. But when the same divorced one who suggested this in the first place said, it looks like his lover makes him happy, is when the reality of it all finally dawned on her, and the very real possibility that another woman and not his wife gave him joy almost made her pass out. She realized how ridiculous this all was and begged them to help her win me back, but they just told her if she couldn't deal with it, why did she open her marriage in the first place? She knew then and there that these people were toxic and a threat to our marriage and the life we've built. Hence, she's been on a mission to win me back by any means necessary. I, on the other hand, didn't share much, but I did let the counselor know about the situation on my side with my lover still in the picture, to which the counselor said no resolution could ever be reached with my lover still in the picture, and suggested we book another appointment after tomorrow. The counselor said it was unusual for someone to stay with her first this long, and gave the impression that any storm can be weathered. I highly suspect she wants us to be one of her success stories. Sorry that it's long, but I figured I might as well give a full update. Update 2. Still haven't figured out how to link posts, and a very warm thank you to everyone who has reached out. I apologize for not being able to reply to each and every one of you, be it inbox or on the post. Anyway, here's the update so far. Again, thank you for all your support. It's quite literally been an episode of Jerry Springer. I have since moved into an apartment owned by my brother for a ridiculously cheap price. He owns properties and would have let me stay for free, but I refused that. Just a little of what I have uncovered about my wife's behaviors and some unsettling things about her manager. During our second session of counseling, I asked some of the questions that some Redditors asked. 1. If she was sure nothing physical happened before the open of the marriage. She looks towards the ground and begged me not to make her say it. She said if she said it, then it would destroy us, but after some pushing, she shared that it wasn't physical, but they touched themselves in front of each other. This douchebag convinced her that since it wasn't physical, sort of, it wasn't technically cheating, and that they were simply enjoying each other's full beauty. I was absolutely floored by this, and she started shaking and hyperventilating. Snot even began flowing from her nostrils as she cried and apologized to me. At this point, even the counselor was taken aback and had a look of disbelief. My wife got on her knees and hugged my legs, saying how sorry she was. 2. I then asked her what really changed her view of him. She said after she started pulling back from the group as a whole, his behavior towards her changed. Then one evening, as she was leaving a meeting, she passed his office and heard him speaking about her to another male colleague. He said he was surprised at how easy it was to get her, and how she is living proof that you can't trust the quiet ones. When the colleague asked if he actually fancied her, his response was that she was a pleasant distraction, and that he had absolutely no intention of breaking up with his fiancée. He even added that this was simply to get it out of his system because the only woman who has ever understood him was his fiancée, and he didn't want to break up with her. He also mentioned how he felt bad for me, but you snooze, you lose. My wife, upon realizing that she was nothing more than a piece of meat to this man, added by the fact that she betrayed me for a cheap thrill, actually made her suicidal in that moment.
Oh, yeah.
She said she left her workplace and vomited in the parking lot. She also added that her first thoughts were, "What have I done?" and my name, "Please forgive me, I'm so sorry." 3. I then asked her if she loved him and when it was that she stopped loving me. She looked me dead in the eye through tears and said she never stopped loving me, which honestly makes it worse, and that he was just something different. She thought it was love, but now realizes how foolish she was. She squeezed my arm with surprising strength and said she knows she messed up, but she misses us and the connection we had before all of this. She even suggested we move away and start fresh, just the two of us, just as it was meant to be. I then told her it wouldn't be fair to my lover and that I need time away from her to process all this. It was like she had a meltdown at those words. She started sobbing harder and saying incoherent things. She held on to me as if I was going to disappear. It took some time for both me and the counselor to calm her down. The counselor managed to convince her that maybe time apart could help us heal. Now I wish I could end the update with just this, but as we got home, I began to pack. My wife got a video call from her laptop. It was one of her former friends in tears. It turns out that after my wife resigned, this friend and the manager began a fling of their own, but apparently she had a pregnancy scare which caused him to basically turn into Dr. Jekyll. To make matters worse, she had a boyfriend whom she apparently could see a future with him, and the only reason why she even had a fling was because she was curious of the experience. Funny how that seems to be a trend. Her boyfriend found out because he discovered an email between the two discussing the potential pregnancy, but the manager basically accused her of baby trapping him. Of course, he left her, and the reason why she made contact is because she was under the impression that my wife managed to save our marriage and was desperately seeking advice. I just turned and left and have been staying in the apartment ever since. Update 3. My wife's insane behavior and how it changed us. Some things have happened so far, and my decision moving forward. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who took the time to reach out and share either helpful advice, your own similar life story, or just offered an ear for me.
Okay, yeah, so you're gonna stop it there, man, because now, I'm just gonna say I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of diving too deep. This is what I'm gonna tell you. There's a Bob Dylan song called "Don't Think Twice Is Alright." The lyrics, pay attention to the lyrics. Don't think twice is alright. Now, I do this channel to more spell out, what's happening. But I have no patience for, you are never, where do I start? When you're dealing with women in these situations, never ask her questions. You seen what she did, you know what she did. At the open relationship part, unless you was just tired of fucking her, just bounce. All right. Unless you the type of dude who's cool. Now, if you cool with it, then go ahead and do it. But if you're not that kind of dude who's cool with it, and you not like for example with that Jada Pinkett shit. Remember they sat at the round table, and it was and they brought that other couple in. See Jada Pinkett end up in that scenario because Will Smith won't put his fucking foot down, and she done ran all over him. But that couple in that video, that man was running that shit, and that girl, the bitch was following him down that road of polygamy. You see, those was two whole different scenarios. You see, and media and society won't acknowledge that. And those are two whole different things. See, like I said, with Jada Pinkett done walked all over Will Smith, and Will Smith hoping Will Smith is somewhere right now. He is sitting somewhere right now hoping that Jada Pinkett just comes back and sees the light, right? Now, with that couple who was at that table, y'all remember it was a white dude and like a black mixed with like Indian girl or something like that. That dude was running that. He was running his. That dude was in charge of that polygamy, and she was just following. You could tell by the whole chemistry and how they, and you could tell by their chemistry, and you could tell by that woman's chemistry with Jada Pinkett and her mama. You could tell their chemistry, like Jada Pinkett. Okay, Jada Pinkett and her mama was this woman's co-workers, right? Once that woman gets involved with them co-workers, she gonna be destroyed. All right. Because go back and watch that video where Jada Pinkett was at the round table with the other couple who was in the polygamy, and they starting to question her. Well, what do you mean he did this? Because they drag because them bitches are fucked up and they trying to drag her down that same hole with them. That's what bitches do. They destroy. You know what I'm saying? They destroy shit. It's what they do. It's their nature. It's what they do. Now, how you walk in there and how you handle them up to that point of walking in there. You know, you have to fucking unwire that shit. But she's still gonna try you. She's still gonna try you in little ways. But but when she tries you, you gotta handle that shit accordingly, because it don't matter how many years y'all been together. It don't matter how many kids you got together. The friend of mine whose wife just cheated on him. They got 2 little girls, and he loves all of them. It don't matter how many years, they still gonna try you. All right. And listen to me. The only way you deal with that shit properly is how he is. I think he accidentally dealt with it properly, right? And this is important too, because a lot of guys end up being pimps and players on accident, and then when the shit breaks, everything just falls apart, and they don't know what the fuck happened, and they leave the rest of their life believing that they inferior and all this shit like that. Okay, see, this guy fell into this shit on he dealt with it properly. I would say more so on accident, right? Because how it started out, the bitch was having all her fun, and because she thought that he couldn't pick up women and all that, but he ended up going out there and finding women, and so now she's mad and all that, you know, because he genuinely went out there and found happiness where he would just smile for no reason and have fun, and he didn't really care about her. Now the bitch now his wife wants to go commit suicide and all that. Now, like I told you before, that's what makes women want to commit suicide. Once they realize they're not desirable, that's what's gonna make her want to commit suicide. See, that's what's gonna hurt her the most. Okay, so check this shit. Him, let's say this same dude. Okay, the way he accidentally dealt with it properly, that hurt her more than him coming home and beating her up physically. And this is, see, that physical altercation between men and women, this needs to be thoroughly explored more in manosphere shit. But I think a lot of manosphere guys don't want to touch on it because it is a touchy subject. Because it's kind of like talking about like pedophilia. Like if you talk about pedophilia and if you fuck around and say one word, motherfuckers gonna think you like to fuck kids type of shit like that. So it's one of them touchy subjects for men to talk about. But I'm gonna say it. All right. The reality of how women handle shit is, like I said, was about 2 weeks ago. It will hurt a woman more okay, in the context of me doing a live stream, it hurts women more to say, I don't even have the energy or I don't care to want to physically hurt you. That hurts more than actually going to physically beating the piss out of a bitch. Me not giving a fuck and moving on in life and being happier in my own life and doing my own thing with my own life, that means a lot more. That hurts women much more than any physical pain you can give to them. Because it's that mental pain of not being desired. And that's when suicide comes up. I told you guys that. I always say it. That's going to make... I told you Amber Heard's on suicide watch for her context before Johnny Depp said he didn't want the money. You know what I'm saying? That bitch was out about to commit suicide. I know 10 suicide by men. Yeah, but rather only 1 by female. I knew. Man. Because it's that weird shit, man. With the men and women, it's the weird shit. Like I said, it's totally backwards and totally opposite. Men think they need women. Men just want women. Women think they want men, but really they need men. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing is just backwards because both sides are trying to. Okay, perfect example with University of Dayton and Sinclair Community College, right? Both sides are trying to accommodate for each other, But in the reality, in that meeting, they're both failing each other miserably, right? So I use this as an example. When I was in college, or for those outside the U.S., Sinclair Community College, it wasn't a university. I'm gonna read the comments before I get out the donations. Thanks again for the donations, man. I appreciate it. So the reality of the dating market between men and women, and it's not really in perspective of value or anything like that, but how the communication is getting lost and they both are failing each other miserably, right? It's similar to where I went to college at. I went to college at Sinclair Community College, and then I went to University of Dayton, right? The University of Dayton was like where like the relatively rich kids went. And Sinclair was where like the poor kids who was working at fucking, Frisch's or, wherever, it was working as waiters and all that shit was at, right? And came from families that never went to college and their whole, in generations kind of thing like that. That's where Sinclair was. And the University of Dayton was at that university where everybody in their family graduated from university somewhere, right? So since Sinclair was statistically like the lower, weaker one, the less capable college, whatever you want to call it, and UD was just undoubtedly like the better college. What happened was this, because I went to both colleges and I had to work through that maze of figuring it out. What ended up happening was Sinclair was trying to accommodate the students to possibly make it in university. They go to like Wright State or University of Dayton. So they would try to, they were trying to build the students up to get in there and kind of really just kind of overshoot a lot of a lot of stuff because they were like on this mindset that, oh, it's University of Dayton, it must be the better school, so we must build you up better and make you strong. This is where the cultures clash. We must make you better, make you stronger, make you better. Yes. Because it's community college, but we want to make you stronger. We want to make you this, and and then, but at the same time, University of Dayton was trying to make it easier for the community college. So when they would meet, it would just kind of be like all this shit, and they would never actually they never actually meet, at a proper communicating zone and then can move forward. Like, and in reality, and that's the context, it really wouldn't be more than just sending ambassadors from one college to the other and just watching what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Just go back and tell the other school that, and then just, get on the same page. But hey, I don't ask me why they don't just do that. But yeah, and that's the reality. I think in a certain context, that's what's happening to men and women, especially out in the West. It's just this huge miscommunication of trying to over accommodate for the other one, to where just not a whole lot is getting done, especially after women think that they're men now. It's just all gone. It's just all confused. I don't give a toss about Amber. Plenty of real people on this planet that deserve our sympathy. She doesn't deserve a millisecond. Yeah, I agree, Dark Rebel. She doesn't. Yeah, not. Yeah, she doesn't deserve. Yeah, she needs to pay all that money. She needs to pay all that money. And then when she pays all that money to Johnny don't give it back to her. Okay, you know what? Okay, what really needs to happen is this. What really needs to happen is in that Amber Heard shit, in my opinion, is Amber, okay, with no questions asked, Amber has to get that money to Johnny Depp, right? Now, he's going to get probably about, 70% of it after all the fees come out from the lawyers and all that shit. He gonna get about probably about 6 million, 5 or 6 million, something like that, when it's all said and done. Well, he probably done spent more than that on attorneys. He probably don't get like 2 or 3 million for real if you really want to do math on it. I wouldn't be surprised. So he needs to go ahead and just get that money, go ahead and take that money, and then they need to file a restraining order and treat that restraining order like how they treat, when women put restraining orders on men. Do the same thing with him on her, so they can't communicate. Get a restraining order in any kind of way, and if they violate it, then one of them motherfuckers gonna get fucked up. Right? Gonna get fucked up. Put a restraining order. Don't get that money. Don't siphon, because he'll find a way to siphon it back to her ass. Now, I don't want to take the money. No, take that money and bounce. Bitch ain't give a fuck about you. Fuck that bitch. You think I ran around trying to give money to my ex-wife or old girlfriends at that shit? No, I ain't. No, I'm cool. If anything, I was still getting money off my ex-wife after this shit was over with, and she ain't even know about. You think I went out trying to find her, trying to give her money? Hey, no. Fuck that bitch. That bitch don't give a fuck about my life, so fuck her life. The fuck out of here. It ain't even like on some old, like, I want to physically hurt you shit. It's just, like, fuck your life. Bye. Ta-ta. That's the best way to deal with it, because it's, listen to me, when you walk up, see, this dude, he happened to, I think, like, in the reality, he accidentally handled it right. He didn't really mean for that shit, right? Because he was still kind of lingering around a bit till he found that little Asian bitch who treated him right and all that shit like that. Because let's say he didn't find that Asian bitch. What would he been doing? He'd have been sitting around, lingering around. Well, what is Susan doing? Waiting for her decision to come back to you type of shit. And that's where my friend at right now, man. Okay, if you only take one thing from everything I ever say, right? If you only take one thing from anything I ever say, by the time you never end up in a position where you sitting around waiting for a bitch's decision to come back to you. All right. By the time you in that position, you are long gone at this point. You long gone. Okay, by the time you in that position where you sitting around hoping that she gonna make the decision to come back to you, is she gonna come back? Okay, because that's where homie. Okay, let's say we're homie right here. If that little Asian girl didn't come around, let's say he would have hit a cold streak, and you know what I'm saying? Because we all hit cold streaks, right? Let's say homie had to hit a cold streak and just no bitches was paying him attention. They all was just, want to leave him on red, whatever the fuck. None of them was paying attention for whatever reason. Let's say he just hit a cold streak. What would he have been doing? He'd been sitting around, oh, my options are worn out. What is she doing? You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. He luckily got out that shit right. Right? But how he would have really got out that shit right was to just fuck this bitch's life. I'm out. We ain't no, fuck it. What we need counseling for? I don't need no counseling. You going out. Okay, ta-ta, bye. I'm off. I'm playing PlayStation and drinking beer. Look, like I said before, there is not a bitch on ERF on earth that will shame me out of jacking my fucking dick off to pornography. Pornography, PONOGRAFY. All right, you are not gonna shame, but bitches love to try to shame you out of anything you like, because then they can start keep manipulating you. You ain't gonna do that to me. I would jack you will walk in. I'll be in there just. See that bitch ass and tits? I will jack. I'm on live on YouTube. Just as international as Johnny Depp. So I would jack my dick up. You ain't gonna shame me? Yeah, because bitches love to shame you out there. Because now they got something on you they can use. Ain't gonna work here, bro. They gonna find another motherfucker you can shame. Oh, I don't watch porn. Oh, I don't buy prostitutes. Oh, I'm better than that. The fuck out of here. I will buy a hooker. I will buy a hooker. You know what I would do? I will pay for a hooker to sit in a chair and watch me jack off the porn. Just to do it. You know what I'm saying? What is that Eminem said? Get rid of that 9. It ain't gonna help. What good's it gonna do against the man who strangles himself? Fuck, get the fuck out of here. I will buy a hooker to literally sit and watch me. That's what I used to do. Why not porn? I went through a period in the brothel where I ain't even fuck bitches, right? I'm gonna tell you what. I think I told y'all this story. I went through a period where maybe I did fuck them a little bit, but I didn't get off to. You know what I got off to? Because I communicate, so I say, so I can come on your ass and all that shit, right? She goes, yeah. So I said, well, just dance or just pose, and I would just stand and just and just make her just fucking not make her, but it was a deal, and just have her just one could twerk, the other one couldn't twerk, but she could just dance, just do these sexy poses, because it was more about the awkwardness of how willing she was to just do something, you know what I'm saying, just for my pleasure kind of thing, right? Because she could say no. It's like she couldn't. It's not fucking slavery, like sex slavery, what dingbat bitches want you to believe. She can tell you no, and then that's just it. She ain't doing that. And yeah, they was I went through a streak of that, and then when I because I remember because one she looked like she was German, because her face wasn't that pretty, but she used to wear those not what's that shit where it's always be them bitches with the two beards and shit, and she had them pigtails, but she had a beautiful fucking ass, and like she was thick and she was pale white. She was my type, so I used to just jack off on her fucking ass, and just slap it and jack off on it. Yeah, just have her do it. Oh yeah, let me read the donations. My bad. Yeah, thanks for reminding me, man. Okay, yeah. Let me check the email. Where the gym. Where we at? It's 9:19. Here we are. Gym. Oh, here it is. Oh shit, hang on. It's 5 minutes.
Yo, what's up, you?
Well, this can't be copyrighted because this is somebody's social media thing. So if he did it, he can't copyright it. I wouldn't think he could.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Woman on TikTok claims gym trainer was being a pervert. Do you need something? Let's get it.
Trainer gets caught on camera being a pervert. And when I stand up for myself, he threatens to call the police and revoke my membership.
Adam 2. Laughing emoji, good point. This commenter says all he did was look. The F, honey, humble yourself. For real, because you're not that fine, but you don't like that coffee.
Put that coffee down.
This commenter says, girl, get over yourself. You were staring at that man. Exclamation mark. This guy commented, what a joke. With the laughing emojis, laughing hysterically. Sometimes women actually get harassed at the gym. This isn't one of those times, clown. Next commenter says, see, this is why some women just should stay at home and work out, because he never did anything offensive towards her, and she's the one who created them subtitles. He probably never even said that in the beginning. She wants attention so bad. Women love attention. It is the truth. Right? She goes there, she thrives off the attention, and she's not all the way there in her head because, you know, being able to create a situation in your mind and then create a problem and then want to get somebody in trouble, that's a red flag. This commenter says, if you're going to act like this, go to an all-women's gym. I've heard of all-women's gyms. I don't think all women's gyms will get far. And that's because at the end of the day, no matter how women want to complain about men looking at them, staring at them, the truth is women love it. They love it. Women thrive off attention. All women's gyms will not work. Why? Because there'll be nobody to give them that validation. That's what women chase after, right? Is attention. So it's kind of contradicting, right? It's like you're going to dress really revealing and then you expect men to not do what they're naturally going to do, which is look. Now, this is not to say that men should be overly aggressive in the gym. Don't be overly aggressive, right? But here's the truth. Being creepy, being accused of, being a creep, that all just comes down to whether the woman thinks you're attractive or not. Is she giving you those choosing signals that are giving you the green light? Either way, in this situation, this chick was wrong, falsely accusing a man. As always, curious to know what you think. Leave.
Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, thanks. I don't know if you want your name said, but DS, thanks for the $10. I got it on the Cashapp. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. I could like it. There we go. Thanks a lot for the donation. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the internet. I seen that. It was lagging. Is it still good? Let me check.
Got it on the Cashapp. Thanks a lot, man.
Playing from desktop
Oh, God.
721 SS8L.
There we go. Thanks a lot for the donation. Yeah, to the internet, I seen that it was lagging.
It was lagging. I don't know what the fuck happened. Because as I checked my speed was fine. But no, it is on Wi-Fi because like I said, I was moving a bunch of shit and I still haven't moved a lot of it back. So yeah, it's just on Wi-Fi because I still want to get it like how I want it in here. So I really could just ran a wire real quick, but I was just lazy, man. But yeah. 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 Take this off. But yeah, man, I'm chilling. I'd be alright. But yeah, thanks for the donation. I seen the big $10 on Cash App. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Let me read back. Okay, yeah, and the boys. Yeah, I've been on the boys lately, man. Homelander, who is like a bad Superman who can't be killed or destroyed, but his greatest weakness is his ego and needing attention. But one man named Edgar who has no superpower to defeat him with words because words cut deeper than any blade. Yeah, distraction. Yeah. Amber Heard says she doesn't care about other people's opinions. Do you believe it, or do you think deep inside she's suicidal? Well, I think she's suicidal for a different reason. Make sure my audio's still right.
Words cut deeper than any blade.
Yeah, I think she's suicidal. Okay. I see where you're going. Yeah. So yeah, just as a woman, she's suicidal because women just cannot handle being wrong, even though it's what they specialize in. They can't handle, So yeah, in the end, it's going to be the opinion. In the end, it's people's opinion. But woman can't handle being wrong, and then motherfuckers knowing she's wrong. Like that's what's going to drive women to being wrong in anything, and being non-desirable is still being wrong, right? Because to be desirable would mean she's doing something right. So if she's not desirable, it means she's doing something wrong. Whether it was something that she did intentionally or unintentionally, right? Maybe not having a big butt or whatever the fuck, right? And that is gonna, at minimum, severely humble women, right? But no, I think Amber Heard's suicidal. Okay, until Johnny did that shit, I think Amber Heard was suicidal. I wouldn't question that for a second. I wouldn't doubt it for a second. After the world seen that she got exposed. Okay, and not really for the fact that she got exposed to what she did. I don't think that had nothing to do with it. the fact that she was that they had her on video record and on tape saying how he can't be the victim of domestic violence because he's a man and all that, because he's a white man and all that shit like that. See, that part, that had nothing to do with it, because like I said, see, women don't have character and morals, anything outside of them personally. So the fact that she did that, the fact that what she did, that didn't bother her at all. I think what in my opinion, would put her in the suicide territory. Okay, like just like with the video I did earlier with the girl who won an open relationship and all that shit. She lost the focus of either man and or her social status. That's what happened. She lost the focus of man and or social. So in the first video I did, she lost the status with man, right? And then the social status with her clients in the office of, well, it became clear that in that office, in the first video I did, it became clear in the office that she was just side pussy. Her social status knew it, and her safe bet moved on. That's what drove her to suicide, right? And with Amber Heard, it's more that she was, in my opinion, she was wrong, and the world found out, and on top of that, she actually got fucking attempted punishment by the law, right? In a world where she openly states that it's very uncommon, for men to even have a fighting chance in that shit, and she actually got called out for it. That put her in suicide. Now the fact now I'm thinking about it, because how bitches act, I wouldn't be surprised if this happened. I wouldn't be surprised if after that happened, after the decision came out that Amber Heard was fucked up and she had to pay like $10 million, which ain't nothing in comparison to what she did to Johnny Depp's career. That's fucking nothing for his career. I bet you, I would bet a decent amount of money. This is what happened. She called Johnny crying, rang his phone on either her or her friends or her lawyers. Somebody was begging Johnny to not do this to her. I will bet a decent amount of money. It's gonna well, it may come out or may not come out, but because I know how women are, because they're pathetic when it comes. Just how in the first video I did when that woman was crying and all that, when she, I'm getting ready to go. It's 9:30. I'm getting off here RBT. I'm gonna save it for tomorrow, man. But thanks a lot for the donation. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna start with that tomorrow then. Because like I said, when just like with the last one, when she got busted and caught, and that guy moved on. Now she's crying with snot in her nose and all that. Yeah, and then she went suicidal and all that shit like that. Yeah. When they get when see, and this is what media see. Topics like this, and I think they're going to become more open. Men are going to feel more comfortable being open about talking about this. Women, when they get busted cold-handed like that, women are worse than children. Much worse than children. Far worse than children, dude. Far worse. I will say after that decision happened, I would bet a decent amount of money to a donut, to one beer, that either she rang his phone off the hook, or one of her friends, or one of her colleagues, or the attorney, somebody rang his phone off the hook, crying, "Don't do this." Wrote letters and text messages and email. I will bet I would bet $1,000 to a donut. I'm 1,000% certain that that's what happened. Because that's how bitches are. That's how bitches move. Because they are extremely pathetic in these scenarios. Extremely. But here's the thing. People don't talk about it because it goes back to that. Because the world is built. Because see, somebody is always desperate for side pussy, right? Somebody is always desperate for side pussy, and the mere hope and glimmer of side pussy. So this time 2 years ago, if this had been Roy Chalmers and fucking Jessica Wright, some two unknown motherfuckers, everybody would have fought for Jessica Wright from the fucking start, and we wouldn't have heard anything else from the other side of it. The only reason Johnny got away with that is because he's Johnny fucking Depp. That's the only reason he got it. If he had been Johnny Ringo, he'd have got his ass laughed out the courtroom. All right, they're like, you dumb motherfucker, get this shit out of here, you stupid motherfucker. They'd have laughed at him. But yeah. I will bet $1,000 to a donut after, I say it happened within the hour. After they walked to the car, it was right in the car ride home. It started text messages and emails and parents seen it and all that. Don't do this to Amber. She's innocent. She didn't know what she was doing. I already know. It probably happened on the car ride home. He's probably getting text messages, emails, phone calls, and all type. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. Because like I said, because women, when they end up in it, they are so unbelievably pathetic. You almost can't believe it. So that's how I've grown to learn. The more unbelievable it is, probably the more that's probably what's it in Watchmen? He goes, unbelievable story. It must be true. Type of shit. I've grown to be like Rorschach in that situation. Yeah. The more unbelievable it is, the more I'm okay. Yeah, Amber, sit the fuck down. You did it. But society is so built. The society is so built on just protecting a woman just because she's a woman, and Amber and her bras know it. I thought she was gonna win. To be honest, I still don't believe it. But I thought she was going to win. I thought Johnny didn't have a chance because, like I said, you go against a woman in a courtroom, well, that's basic protocol. The man has all logic and fact, and she's just running up there just acting like she's an innocent, delicate, butterfly who was hurt by a big evil man, and that's all it usually takes. That for people talking about they shocked about it, and no, that's basic protocols. Like, how did Amber even make it this far like this? Motherfucker, are you even aware of of the dynamics between man and woman in the law and court systems? That is the norm, all right? There's nothing abnormal about it. The only thing abnormal was that Johnny lasted as long as he did without being labeled a crazy sex addict, controlling, manipulative. Well, no, he was manipulative because they manipulated the media to give Amber a bad name. Yeah. So no, I can't say that. But I'll say this: I'm surprised that Johnny made it out without being a crazy rapist. I'm surprised he made it out without being in some way a controlling sexual rapist. I'm still surprised at that. And I know that the Amber's probably is too. That the crowd didn't talk themselves into believing it. She ain't even had to say nothing. The crowd had talked themselves into just creating that logic in their head that he's a rapist. Like I said, ain't nobody safe from that. When it happens, as a man, you just gotta walk away. When it happens, just bounce on her motherfucking ass, and she's dead to you, right? Because nobody's immune to this shit. Okay, it'll come out 6 months from now that Johnny Depp tried to fuck Amber's 15-year-old niece, and I already know. I'm expecting it. I'm fucking expecting it. Like I said, everybody motherfuckers, they love Ryan Reynolds right now. I don't dislike the motherfucker. I can't watch him in the movies, but I don't dislike him. I don't know him as a person. But he appears to have that perfect life with the Blake Lively girl or whatever the fuck like that. They got kids, and give it time. When Blake Lively's mad and tired, Ryan Reynolds gonna be a controlling rapist, and Ryan Reynolds will probably punch me in the mouth for saying that right now. But bro, I know it's gonna happen in some way, and you know what, Ryan Reynolds, if you ever see this and you hear me say I know right, if it ain't happened yet, you want to punch me in the mouth for saying that. But you know what? When you sitting up in that courtroom and ain't nobody believing you because she done talked it, look, I'm gonna believe you still, because I'm gonna be there for you, because I know how bitches gonna do you. All right, you could be simply talking about some no, that's not what happened. And because she done manipulated that whole crowd. Because see, that's how women rape, because they manipulate shit. I'm gonna be there, because I know you gonna. If he sees, he gonna want to punch me in the mouth just for talking like that about his wife. All right, yeah, because everything good right now. Again, when you see Ryan Reynolds on the front of Time magazine talking about some. He's up in courtrooms, face getting red, trying to get this point across. I'ma still be there for you, bro. I'm still gonna be there. After I done got 3 new teeth put in my mouth. MOUF, 3 new teeth put in my mouth. I done fixed my black eye because you done punched me all in the face and all that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I'm still gonna be there because I know how they go. Because I know how she gonna do you when it's over. You know what I'm saying? If you lucky, you may never have to deal with it, but at some point it's gonna happen. And I highly doubt you managed her right up to this point. I highly doubt it. Because I managed my girl right, but I expected. Well, something happened yesterday and we fell out. And I ain't yell at her or nothing. I just got up and just walked off. And that's something, I'm sorry, and all that shit. Because when it hits that point, you can't do nothing. Because okay, but by the time, see, you ever wonder why you ever think about this? Why there's so many women on earth who just happen to get with abusive, sexually manipulative, controlling men? How did all these women just happen to find all these specific men? But ask yourself, was it these men who were actually doing that, or was that these women escape route out of the relationship to turn him into the bad guy and her into the perfect angel? You see? Think about that shit. So when a woman starts coming off and saying she was in a controlling relationship and all this, that is the first red flag. Leave that bitch wherever the fuck she was at, and use her for side pussy and then delete your number. It would change your phone number and move or some shit. Like, don't take her, let her know nothing about you. Alright? For real. When a woman's complaining, thanks for the donation. I'm reading in a minute. When a woman is coming and she's complaining about men in her life and then blah, 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 that is your first red flag. Because if she was so fucking smart and if she was so fucking great, she would have never ended up in that position in the first place. Strong and independent. And she was so fucking smart and so great and so intelligent and so strong and independent. She would have had. Why doesn't she have the intelligence to figure that out? She has the intelligence to go off and get her bachelor's and master's and doctorates and work these jobs or hustle on OnlyFans. And she's so fucking smart. If she's so fucking smart, then she should have been smart enough to see that shit and get out of it when it happened. Oh, but she's not, because she's an innocent widow victim. Yeah, oh, I know. Yeah, red flag. That bitch she's a piece of shit. Yo, thanks for the $20, man. Appreciate it, Aaron. Appreciate it, man. It's 9:41. Let me catch one of these comments and I'm gonna get out of here, because I don't want to devote myself to another video right now. Put a cigarette out on his face. I'm confused. Alpha Bam is Ryan gonna be in court with that same quirky. Yeah, he gonna put and Ryan gonna see firsthand how all them motherfuckers gonna flip on him if he don't, because Johnny handled that shit. Now, okay, I thought Johnny was gonna lose, but he did handle it. You know, he didn't get angry because this is another topic that bitches like to pull. If they can just do women know how to play strengths and weaknesses when it comes to interpersonal manipulation, dude. They know how to do it. So Amber is never going to admit to this shit, but I know how bitches do. If there was literally any way, or if she had got lucky and Johnny just done it himself, if she could have just got Johnny upset in the courtroom, if she could have just got him to just yell, get mad, and I will promise you, Johnny Depp's lawyer told him to practice that shit, to not get mad and all that shit, because the court wants to see man as big, evil, strong monster who has a rageful past and will, right? And Amber knew that. So Amber, see, these are these little secret weapons that women like to use. They like to hope that you just get mad and make a fool of yourself. That way she don't got to do anything else. So Johnny handled it well. He spoke slow. He was calm. He did a great, but even with that, I didn't think he was going to win. I still don't think he won, but I didn't think he was going to win, but he did a great job. And Amber did a great job playing, being bitch. She did a great job, but it ain't worked this time. Yo, what's up, Scotty? I did a live stream over on Scotty's channel, man. Check him out. Real good dude. I started streaming on Twitch. I don't know how you can stream for 2 hours. I could only do 1 hour. Oh man, it's been practice, man. That's what it is. It's just been practice of doing it. Amber's dad was, I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure her dad was abusive. I'm sure he was controlling. He yelled at her 2 times. Yeah, I know. He was controlling. He yelled at her. He beat her before her mom got home, or the mom joined in on the beating. I know. I already know. Coming from Amber in that position, she's going to. Now, I'm not saying there ain't no fathers out there who don't do that, but what I'm saying is a woman is definitely going to use that as a weapon, all right? Whether it happened or not, she's always going to run to that. That's the default. At this point, I just tune it out. All right, when I hear that, I just immediately tune it out. It just doesn't even exist. Selective hearing, it should just, because I expect it. I feel it around. Yo, it's just coming. It's coming. His lawyer was a woman, yeah. So she knew Johnny, that Amber was hoping Johnny would flip out in court, yeah. AD, you still visit brothels? Aaron, no, man. I don't, because I've just gotten tired of it. I took my dad to it and walked him around and show him what it was and how it works and stuff like that. But honestly, man, I just kind of grew up. I don't want to say like I'm like superior or anything like that, but I just, you just kind of grow out of it. I just kind of grew out of it. Because I honestly really grew out of it probably about, that was the whole reason why I ended up finding the girl I have now, because I grew out of brothels probably about 4 months before because I had a girlfriend before my girl now. But it was about, and I was, yeah, see, that's the proper time frame. Yeah, I grew out of it probably about 4 or 5 months before I met my girl. I just had no drive to go anymore. Because I had done everything with all the beautiful women in there, kind of, which sounds very stereotypical when you just say beautiful women. But I had done, you know, like I said, it got to the point where I just wouldn't even fuck them. I would just have them just do something ridiculous kind of thing. And it'd be like that beautiful girl you'd see in the mall or something like that. She's in there just, just gagging down cocks for $50 like a fucking piece of trash. Like, but then in the club, guys will worship her because she looks good in a club kind of thing. So I just seen the both sides. I just got tired of it, to be honest with you. I really, like I told you guys a story about when I fucked the girl's armpit and her sister was laughing, but then she just joined in like she just didn't care. There's so much of that shit that happened. It was so many different times. I just grew out of it, honestly. Because like for about the first year, it's just like, oh my God, like, these women are fucking, gorgeous. That thing. So first you just fucking, well, I'll tell you the general, for those of you who've never been to a brothel. I'm not saying Aaron, but for those of you who maybe never been to like a good brothel, in my experience of what happened to me was, at first it's just, oh my God, this woman is this good looking and it has a decent attitude and it's fucking for $50-$60. It's like, oh my God, like this is fucking heaven, right? Then like slowly it's like, oh, I might as well stop at a brothel. I ain't got nothing else to do, right? Then it's like, oh, well, I'm kind of tired of going to the brothel, but I feel like I should go because, there's other men on earth who don't have this at their disposal kind of thing and never even experienced this. So I feel like I should go. There's like kind of like forcing yourself to go kind of thing because you can acknowledge that, like I said, it's one of the things like, maybe it's like a desk job. Like there's so many people on earth who would love a desk job, but they can never get in there. But for those people who actually work desk jobs, like, oh my God, like that shit could be fucking grueling shit to do once you're in there for a while. So it's like you're kind of like making yourself do it because you imagine, another life. So it's like, oh, I have to like this life now kind of thing. That's what it was with the brothel. It just kind of like grew to that point of like, just like making myself like it. And to the point where, and I remember I hit a point, I think I told you guys a while back. I finally hit a point where I was like, you know what? It's okay to not want to fuck a beautiful woman right now. It's okay. Because it was kind of like that deeper pressure of like, because that's that pressure that's put on me. Like, you should want to have sex with a beautiful woman. If not, then something's wrong with you and all that shit. And I remember hitting that point. I was like, you know what? It's okay if I don't. It's okay if I just don't want to. It's okay if I just don't want to fuck. A beautiful woman. It's okay. I'm fine. And that was like the growth out of it. Because like I said, dude. The bitches in there will be fucking, like, they're, like, legit, like, all different types of model quality, dude. And it's like you just do it. And then after that, it's just over. I just have no... Because now, and then especially when I'm dealing with my line of work, when I'm going, like, the more I was working, and then the more I would go in, the more I deal with people. Now I just kind of see, the beauty thing really falls like third, because now first all I really see is just mental situation, life. Everybody has life situations, life issues, and that's just the first thing I see out of people now. Like, because this is my profession is to work in this field, right? Even though I just talk about bitches on YouTube, my profession is a clinical mental health disability counselor, clinical mental health counselor, right? And I'm trying to get licensed over here. I was talking to a girl that she's supposed to be getting me somewhere. I found her on some fucking website, and I don't even think she's licensed, but just to get in with somebody, to get me in a circle, to talk to people, to get work hours in over here, so I get licensed over here to work, because I'm not licensed over here. But now when I like I said, when I see a beautiful girl, I mean, I could admire them. I could admire the beauty. But the first thing I see when I think about actually having to talk to them is just, everybody's got something's going on in their life for whatever reason. And that's just like, so I'll just be like, fuck, I don't even care. And just walk off. Let me read this last comment, and I'm going to wind down and get out of here because it's 9:50. AD, I once said that women love deep inside to get beaten by men. They need the emotion when men get angry, yelled at them and slapped them. How on earth women love dangerous men in prison? Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, okay, and that's like kind of going into the first time I realized that, women, like all women, I think all women at some point at minimum crave rough sex, but most women love it. But it's like a weird connection I made. Like I told you guys a long time ago, when it finally clicked was when I started noticing how women are with children, with their small children. Like how but then when you notice how men are with small children, right? Because it's when men are with small children, like everybody's gonna be more in line. There's gonna be more order. But it's like women almost love the chaos. Like women almost love it's almost like the chaos reminds them that they're fucking alive, kind of thing. And like the pain if the kid like hits them or something like that. Like it's almost like they really like it, like on a deeper level. And that, like, weirdly, that's how it clicked on me, to have more courage to be like rougher, right? Because I didn't choke bitches and all that until pretty much till I came over here. I had one who was into rougher shit. I had one. She was into rougher shit, but she ended up getting hooked on drugs and died. She died last year? Yeah, but no, about 2 years ago now. She died. I scrolled on Facebook and seen that. Her mama put it on Facebook. I had one in the US that was like that. Well, no, I had a few, but she was the nastiest one though. But the other one I'm thinking about now, she was like, okay. So remember that case I told you about with LaRue Pierce? LaRue Pierce, well, that was part of my that was part of my proof to prove that, that because they wanted me to prove that we were together, that I was with that girl. So I had to print off like emails and text messages. Oh, it was all like the shit she would say was like it was like she was literally telling me to rape her in the and that she was like say like I want you to one message was something, it was along the lines of because like as I told you, she went back to her boyfriend, right? And then she would always text me and call me like the second he would leave to the store or something like that. And I would be in class. I'd be in school or something, but like on a break. So I either text her back or call her type of thing. And like she would text me say like, oh my God, like, because she just wasn't satisfied with sex from him anymore. So she like, I want you to, she would literally write, and I had to print this out and sit and give it to him. And even then, like them LaRue Pierce motherfuckers are pathetic. And I had to print, like, it was literally messages saying how when he went off to get food or whatever, she wanted me to come over there and just bend her over and just shove my dick up her ass and don't even ask her if it's okay or not. Just do it. Like, don't ask her. She said like, I don't even care if it hurts. Even if it hurts, I don't care. I just want you to do it. And I had to print out all this shit, dude. It was like this porn, like she would send me like porn pictures, like I thought of this, like this made me think of you, like some dude was like choking a bitch, was like like it had her like it was like pushing her back down, it was like fucking her, like I had to print all this shit out and give it to the police department, and LaRue Pierce was still trying to like get me to say I like molested her and all this shit like that. That was wild, man. That was really wild. That was wild. What's up, long shot? Yo, ADD, my counselor. I need help with PTSD. Well, yeah. Well, text me, man, or email me. Let me get off here because it's 9:54. The prices and overall experiences is what it's about. You can legit chill in ones in Europe. 80 is not joking when he's saying they are clean. Yeah, Dark Rebel, yeah, because I remember I like my first assumption was like the pictures were going to be bull. My first assumption was like Googling it, like they were showing these, these really good looking women. So I'm thinking like, that's the trap. They gonna get you in there. Like, so I remember I went in there. I'm expecting just like dirty, You know, condoms stuck to walls, old bitches smoking cigarettes, sleeping on cots type of shit, like what you sleep on in kindergarten type of shit like that, when you be like 5 in school. I'm expecting like the wall separated, but like, because whenever they show brothels in movies, when they be in Europe, they always show like these dirty fucking nasty places where the walls are separated with a curtain that you like a see-through curtain, like, you know, like this just nasty shit. And when I go up there, it was a total opposite. Total opposite. Clean, you know. There's a nice side and an okay side, but none of it's dirty. None of it's dirty or smells funny. I don't even think they could smoke in there now. Yeah. But I just grew out of it, man. I just got tired of it. Honestly, I just got tired of it. I just completely lost the urge to do it. Gym day tomorrow. Fortunately, there's gonna be women in there. Yeah. All right, so it's 9:56, man. I'm gonna get out of here, man. I'll catch y'all later. Yo, thanks everybody who liked and donated and watched or clicked anything that has me in it or on it, man. And it's still crazy to me. But yeah, I'll catch y'all later, man. Y'all have a good night, evening, day, wherever you at. I'm gonna leave this live stream up. I'll catch y'all on the flippy flip, man. Yo, peace out.